see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a
All right, so I have a question for you guys. Have you ever accidentally not quite closed the bathroom door when needing to go take a shit and your spouse is still around?
No.
I've left the door open purposely.
Really?
No. I've got a shit closet, so I close the door.
Well, we do too. But I mean, she's been in the bathroom doing her hair, and I'm just like, I'm going to the bathroom, and I just run in and I go.
You drop deuce even though she's in there doing her hair?
Sure.
Okay.
My shit smells like roses, boys and girls.
Yeah, sure.
Doubtful.
It's all that rose water you drink.
Why do you ask?
So for the first time in roughly 7 years, this morning I went to the bathroom and the wifey's out here watching TV, and did not close the bathroom door like behind me. I guess it just, I swung it, but it didn't close and latch all the way. So she was a little more privy to the privy than normal. And I felt a way about it, but I was already on the toilet before I could get up and do anything about it. So I just said, fuck it. She can't see me. I know she can't see me because I can't see her. So and basically it's like a line of sight almost directly to the couch, like from that area. So like, cause we cleaned today, like, I mentioned that we were going to have to be doing some cleaning and stuff.
Did she clown you and joke about your shit sounds while you were going?
No, but she can't talk either because for those who don't know, we at least have 2 bathrooms, so we can isolate our showering time and our poop time, and like every now and then it's like, of course, middle of the night we're just going to use the main bathroom, but for the most part, never the twain shall meet, because we lived for 5 years in our old apartment, having to share the same bathroom and waiting on each other and having to deal with each other's smells, and now it's nowhere near as bad. But like, I know some people have crossed that barrier where they can like have the door open and do their business. And I mean, like, a number 2, like, obviously you'll piss in front of your spouse usually. There's no issue there, and vice versa. Usually women don't have a big deal with that. Some of them do, but not as many. But I think nobody really wants to shit in front of their spouse. Like, it's just like, that's like the one thing. Like, so if you out there listening have an opinion on this, by all means share in the comments, because like, is there a time where you just say fuck it? I mean, barring emergencies,
so
like actively, like an active thing, not an emergency situation.
Going with those little clauses, then yes, but only because I'm an asshole, because we literally have a shit closet. Like, it's a whole separate door in our bathroom where the only thing inside there is a toilet, and like literally your shoulders touch both walls while you're sitting on the shitter. It's a shit closet.
Yeah.
So fucking, I go to the bathroom. I don't like people to talk to me while I'm in the bathroom. I don't talk to people while they're in the bathroom. I'm like, just get done. There's nothing that I have to talk, unless the house is on fire. I don't need to talk to you while you're on the shitter, and vice versa. Kara doesn't understand that and will want to come in and talk about her fucking day and her feelings and shit while I'm taking a shit. And I'll be like, one time I'll say, I'm pooping. And she goes, okay, and walks away. That's the end of that. But there have been times where she's like, okay, and blah, 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 and kept going. I'm like, well, I guess we're doing this. And I just open the door wide open until it hits her right in the face. Not the door, but the smell.
The smell
hit her.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, and I'm like, yep, bye. And I close the door back.
Hey, bye.
It was your warning.
Yeah.
Rikki fired a warning shot.
That's it. I put it across her bow.
He let out a large fart to try to scare her away, and it didn't work. So he had to deter her with direct.
She takes it as a mating call. Like, you need to relax.
I have the opposite. I have like I could sit down and take a dump with the door, but the same thing. Like, I've got a separate closet, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, anyway. And ensuite bathroom, so the wife's out in doing her hair or brushing her teeth, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I go in there to take a piss, I close the door. I find it awkward and weird that she can see human waste coming out of my body. If I'm sitting down in the toilet, it's fine, right? She can't see anything happening. But if I'm standing there and there's this stream coming out of me, it's like, that to me is weird. So that I close the door for every time.
Really?
Yeah, because I find that's weird. Right.
But
if the 3 of us were out camping in the woods or whatever, right, and drinking whatever, I'd fucking probably take a piss right next to Ricky and be like, I had to go, man, and that'd be the end of it, But I can't do it with my wife.
I'm that guy. If a guy ever stands next to me and piss, that's it. I'm turning right into that wave and making it awkward as possible. I will look down and I'll be like, hey, good for you. Or like, oh, your poor wife. I will make it fucking awkward as shit. Like, you should not have stood next to me to piss.
Yeah, so I was going to say, within that context, say public bathrooms, especially in, say, a sporting arena or a bar where they used to have the trough, not the individual urinals. Like, I mean, obviously, you tend to not want to make eye contact in any way, shape, or form. You stare at the wall or you look up at the ceiling, something, and then you check your junk when you need to and you walk out, right?
No, I'm eyes straight forward, so I have my peripherals so I can catch the fucker next to me trying to look. Because I've had that happen too, and I'll just turn my head real slow, like an owl rotating their head, and I'll be like, "You enjoying the show?"
I mean, like, is it really a big deal if they look?
I mean, I'm like, "Are your hands clean? You can help me shake it when I'm done."
I'm sorry. I mean, what did you mean by big?
Yeah. Is it a deal if they look? Well, see, the funny thing is, like,
kind of a big deal.
I guess to me, at least on the not letting your wife see you urinating, as it were, to me it's like all the other stuff we do when we're naked. This is the line.
That's the one I went. My brain went more fucked up than I was like. She's seen other fluids come out of there right at her
I was
face.
being polite. I was being polite about that.
I don't think pee is gonna be the thing that bothers her at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, everybody's different. That's why I was asking the question, because, like, you know, because everybody does, you know, well, most people have that bathroom barrier in some way. Now, I think I've mentioned it even here before, but there was one emergency when we shared the same bathroom where she was in the shower and I needed to shit. And I told her, I was like, you got two options: get out of the shower right now and wait, or I got to shit while you're in the shower. And, like, because I have to go.
You better lather up hard so you're smelling herbal essence, because I'm about to fuck this room up.
Yeah, that's not a problem. She's got all the things. But, like, there was the one time where I had to just blow it out real quick and she couldn't get out. But there was other times where she had to get out and wait. And I've had to do the same thing too. But I mean, I'm a dude, so it's not like I'm, you know,
soap dripping off your face. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I can take a 5-minute shower, you know, she can't. I mean, she could, she just doesn't. But, like, yeah, no, it's just that where's the poo barrier situation there. And I felt weird about it, but, you know, it's not like the door was wide open, it was cracked, you know.
It would have been better if she's like, oh, really? So that's the sound. Like, I would have been fucking talking shit the whole time. Like, that's the sound you make, huh? Like, ugh.
Well,
you have no idea how turned on I am right now.
Well, the good news is the exhaust fan is really loud and would cover most noises.
I don't run the fan in my bathroom. Like,
we don't have a choice.
I care about it all the time. Like, ever since Bobby talked about the fans things, I've told her, I was like, I'm about to get in there and unwire all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to, but the thing is, it does really help get the moisture out, because because our old place, the exhaust fan didn't go anywhere; it just was a recirc basically. Right. So everything stayed moist. So like if she opened, or damp for a better word. So if she took a shower, opens the, you know, she takes really hot showers, so it's super steamy.
Me too.
And then so she'll open the door, and then like just the bedroom's filling with fucking steam. You know, and then that just turns into
come out looking like the fucking massive phantasm stepping out of the smoke cloud.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. She comes out looking like a lobster is what she looks like.
That's what I do. That's literally what I do. Like, I am weird about showers, dude. You will never catch me taking a cold shower. I'll take a whore's bath before I'll take a cold shower. And
see, I'll take a hot shower and then cool it off. Like, I'll turn it down before I get out. But
I step out of there red skinned and everything, dude. Like, I do not fuck around, man. I'm burning off every germ and anything on my body. No. Hot showers. Open your pores up, get all the gross out. So I got this luscious, beautiful skin. Fuck all that cold shower shit.
That's why.
That and I puts the lotion on the skin.
There you go. Well,
before she gets the hose.
I was going to ask you a question about that. Let's save that for another episode. I'm going to wait for Dormammu on that, because I feel like he's going to be very awkward when talking about anything sexual. So we'll wait for that. So
he's like, there's more positions besides missionary?
There's more positions than I close my eyes and pray? Look, let's be honest. Dormammu's a freak, probably.
Probably.
Such a freak.
It's always the quiet ones, right?
Well, not always. Sometimes it is the loud ones.
He's like, spit in my mouth.
Yeah. Spit in my mouth so I could spit back in yours. All right. So either way, guys.
All this I hope hits the cutting room floor.
Nope. This is all staying in. This is what's called in cold open. So except we don't do cold opens, we do hot showers.
I know, I'm kind of hot now.
Yeah. Me too.
Spitting in Dormammu's mouth.
Okay, not me there, so that's fine.
Now you made it awkward. Okay, good.
Oh, fuck me.
We got there already. That's good.
You know, we don't actually say that in every episode. You don't have to do
put
that.
his shit in our
don't fucking put your rules on me, man. That's not
I'm yucking your yum.
I'm taking notes from Rikki now. The rules do not fucking matter.
Rules do matter. Rules do matter. Yeah, we learned this lesson. So either way, guys. Welcome back to Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 40. We finally made it to 40, though I'm identifying it as episode 39 again.
God,
I'm gonna be like that, and I'm just gonna deny that 40 ever happened, and I'm just gonna be 39 for
what you could do.
6 years.
I had a friend who refused to say that she was 30, so she literally told people she was 2010, and then she was 2011 and 2012. And this is obviously before the years. But that's literally, she went 29, 2010, 2011, 2012. I think she did all the way until she was 36 or 37, and she got tired of fucking explaining it to people.
Well, it is pretty stupid. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, woman.
Well, see, at least my friend Krista, she's a leap year baby. So, she tells everybody she's 11.
I'm 7.
Yeah. So, we went to her 10th birthday party. That was great.
What are you doing today? I'm having a 10-year-old birthday party.
She's only 10. She's only 10.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you get a knock on your front door, guys in uniform.
Well, no, the weird part was that it was, of course, at a bar. So it's
nice.
She's not even technically old enough to drink. She's only 10. So either way, fucking A. Hi, baby. You closing the door? Am I being too loud? Okay.
But she left the door open while you're shitting? That's weird.
Well, yeah, because she would risk being too close to the shit if she came to close it. I did almost ask. I almost texted her to.
Will you please come close this door?
No.
I have a bashful butthole. Nothing's coming out.
Well, that's a whole other problem.
Shoky asked that question at the beginning because he's actually recording the show from the toilet. That's why.
I absolutely would. That's what noise canceling is for.
Hang up so fast.
The thing is, I would never tell you. You would never know
until after.
You got to have your computer.
You would hear the grunt. You'd hear the grunting.
The first plurp, and I'm out. Kerplop.
Yeah. It's that's why the headphones and the microphone are good. You don't hear anything. Mute for the flushing. We're all good.
Yeah.
So either way, guys. Of course, I am Shoky. You can follow me at all the Shoky related things in the description.
And on his shitter with the door open.
You please don't follow me into the bathroom. That would be bad for everyone involved. And of course, we have Rikki.
What's up, y'all?
And you can follow his work for Nerd Rage Radio on the Nerd Rage Facebook, along with his other podcasts with the Realm Hatton Project. I almost said Nerd Hatton Project. I'm combining shit again.
It's all good.
So the Realm Hatton Project over there on the Realm Collectors YouTube channel on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Sorry, I'm playing with Velcro. I should stop doing that. I'm getting distracted. Just leave. I toy with stuff that's on my desk, and I just got to stop doing that. I fidget.
Bubble wrap is terrible.
Bubble wrap is no. I like bubble wrap because it's good for what it does. I don't see. I'm hearing the echo again, and I think it's coming from Rusty.
It's probably me.
Yeah, it's coming from your end.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know. Okay. It's weird because I only hear it when you
quit repeating yourself.
So when you and I are talking, it echoes. That's weird. Okay. So in theory, there's another source of audio somehow coming through. Either way, I'm backing my mic off just a little bit. Hopefully it'll reduce it. I'll edit that out. So either way, and of course you can follow the Rusty Mechanic.
I am the Rusty Mechanic, and before Shoky screws all this up, because he's just going to babble about a bunch of stuff on YouTube, I am the owner and creator of Transformers Masterpiece Theater, a YouTube channel dedicated to masterpiece scale figures, and I also have a couple of other YouTube channels as well under the Rusty Mechanic.
Yeah.
You can find them by Googling Rusty Trombone and just following the links.
That's right. Do it, boys.
I mean, if you could get rustytrombone.com, which is
Dude,
not likely.
I would pay for you to have that.
Listen, I already had a horrible thing show up my TikTok feed because you made me search Rusty Trombone. I'm not looking up rustytrombone.com. That is not happening.
Made is a strong word. Yeah. You didn't have to do that.
I did not have
you were warned
guns,
to
but
not
I wasn't
do
pointing
that.
any of them at you.
I'm a curious person by nature, so it is my fault.
Well,
agreed.
That's why my friends call me Whiskers, because I'm curious like a kitten. Tell me you get that reference.
I don't.
Oh man,
it's funny though.
Is it Will Ferrell?
Yeah, Saturday Night Live skits.
Oh, okay. Don't know that one. All right,
it's past my bedtime.
And yeah, exactly. But either way, Rusty's links are now permanently in the description down below, so he can't complain.
Permanently? Fuck that shit.
Ricky, you're stuck with me for life.
Well, permanent until he's no longer on the show, apparently.
And when you're rotated out for somebody else.
For somebody else, like Dormammu or...
No, I'm going to leave him down there because...
No. When Dormammu comes in, just like you erase Rusty's and just put Dormammu.
Just Dormammu.
No, that's it. Just put that there. That's it. No links.
That wouldn't be fair because Mike's links are always in the description, even though he's almost never here. So
Sean's were still in there for the longest time.
Yeah, I got rid of Sean a long time ago though. After episode 10. Well, his links were pointless because he didn't put anything.
He didn't do anything with them. Yeah,
he doesn't do anything on the Sean Diesel page anymore. So he just shares his projects with me and me alone. Well, and I guess the people who paid him money to paint his Transformers.
And me.
Yes. So, guys, of course, if you want to write into us like Jay did, you can do so at the NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. And, wait. Oh.
Is this Jay Gorgonzola again?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look. I'm starting to get more spam at that email. That's funny. So, either way, Jay sent in a couple links in regards to... the Pitbull discussion. I'll link that down below, or actually I'll go back to the Pitbull video, the Pitbull discussion,
the dog,
and I'll put that. Yeah, so he put in a Pitbull Rescue, ShawPitbullRescue.com, and it talks about what is a Pitbull, literally describing the breed and the things that get confused as pit bulls, what the different breeds might be. So it's actually pretty good information. I'm glad he sent that. He did also send in a link to agoramodels.com for their ridiculously big Optimus Prime.
I wasn't expecting that. As I was reading the description, I was thinking a Fury model kit. I was reading it, and then it got down to the dimensions, and it said 33 inches. This has got to be wrong. And then I saw the millimeters, so I went and did the millimeter conversion. I was like, holy fuck, it really is 33 inches tall. God damn.
And
an Optimus Prime the size of my combiner, or bigger than my combiners, is nuts.
Yeah, and with the base, apparently it's another 3 inches, so it's actually 3 feet tall on the base that they have that's coming with it. So
God damn,
and it's affordable, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's
affordable. It's $1,800 US. You have options.
That's why
for
I
doing
said
payments.
That's why I said quote unquote.
But that's a 3 foot tall, full die cast, fully articulated with electronics Optimus Prime model kit that you put together.
Yeah, you have to put it together. The RoboSen with the trailer, with the new trailer that came out, was not as much as this thing. So
it was close. It was like $1,000.
But also
$1,000.
The RoboSen looks like ass comparatively.
And the RoboSen is also only 12 inches tall.
The original one was 19, and they shrunk it to 16. The new version is 16 because they said it's somehow a better size for only $100 less.
That is a lot of money for something you have to put together yourself. If I'm going to put something together myself, I'm going to IKEA.
That's how I feel about Melting Pot. I'm going to pay all that money and cook my own goddamn food.
In perspective, Rusty, I do have this 1/8 scale Ecto 1 out here that I had to put together myself. And that was $50 to $60 a month for almost 3 years. So I mean, cost wise, it's roughly the same, but it's also a huge version of Ecto 1 with lights and sounds. That's assuming that Eagle Moss ever get to selling the rights to other people so they can finish that, which is really fucking annoying. But we do have comments, so I'm going to go ahead and go through those just real quick.
So the only thing from Gorgonzola was the links?
Yes, he did. Well, he sent in one thing asking how we were doing because of the weather that happened down here last week, where we had some tornadoes and whatnot.
It's okay. Those of us in Canada are fine. We're fine.
Well, those of us in Florida don't fucking care about anybody else.
# eye roll.
Yeah. Well, there was Southwest Houston got hit with a few tornadoes, so that's why he was concerned. So appreciate your concern.
I see. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but like,
No, he's fine. You're still stuck with us a little bit longer. There,
yeah, because I don't disclose where in Houston I am.
Yeah,
this is like
I'll give you guys a hint. It's in Texas.
It is. I admit I'm somewhere in Texas.
He'll be easy to find because Texas is not that big. Speaking from a country that is the second largest country in the world. But anyway.
Yeah. North of Mexico and south of Canada.
There you go.
That's where you'll find
him. Canada's a fake country, by the way.
No, Canada's only full of 10 people. It's not a country, it's a landmass.
80% of Canada's population lives in only 20% of the actual
dens
landmass.
And burrows. Like 80% of the population lives in dens and burrows and underneath dams that they built on the rivers.
Canada should be nothing but oil rigs.
Derricks.
Oil rigs and lithium mines.
Yeah, we wish.
Because then you'd probably be like one of the richest countries on the planet.
Yeah.
Our oil's not that good.
Well, I mean, it's made from Canadian dinosaurs, so it can't be that good.
Canadian dinosaurs. What does a Canadian dinosaur look like? Anyway, moving on.
A moose.
A moose. Something descended from a moose. Yeah.
Yeah, descended from. Yeah. All right. So back on episode 39. At 40, I only get cheesecake horny. Christine wrote. I love that title, by the way.
One did make me laugh.
And by the way, I think that title actually is why that one got downranked, because it doesn't have that many views. So I actually had to edit the title so I didn't flat out say horny. All right. It has an asterisk now. So, all right, Christine, good old Christine, wrote in, said, "You guys need to get going on The Last of Us. By your next episode, you should have watched
you guys. I've seen them all. I watched the first one 3 times the weekend it came out.
Yeah. So she wrote this 10 days ago. This is not a fresh comment. And it says you should have watched 2 episodes to talk about. Get to it. And by the way, she has been asking me repeatedly in live streams when we're going to talk about it or if I watched it, and I have not answered her because I was waiting to do it on this episode. And anyways, also she says chicken, shaking my head, because of my amazing joke.
Which one was it again? The grown one? I mean, I literally deleted it out of my brain because I was like, oh, I can't believe I fucking fell for it. Oh, the pecs. No, the pecs. Yeah, never mind.
Yep.
God damn it.
That was such a great joke. Everyone feel free to use that in some way, shape, or form. All right. She also said, I finally watched The Munsters. Sigh. I like the actors they chose. I like their characterizations and voices. I wanted to like the whole thing. For the life of me, I can't figure out why I will never watch it again. Because it sucked, Christine. That's why.
It was trash.
The only thing I can think of is that the whole movie is too neon bright and disconcerting and disconnected. All of that is very true. And it says
she's just being,
and also it's trash, and also Rob Zombie is an overrated director, and
no, he just needs to stay within a specific genre.
He's made 1 really good movie, 2 okay movies, and the rest have been shit.
He just needs to focus.
Mm-hmm.
He's being creative.
Creative.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a hipster. Look at my artist.
I think that like he took what was nice, fun, like what 60s 70s camp, whatever, and then made it like 2020 camp, and it was bad.
Yeah. So, where at that point they're making fun of campiness, not actually being part of the campiness.
It wasn't campiness for its own sake. It was campiness for clout, apparently.
I still refuse to turn it on because I've not heard not one single person say anything good about it. Like what she just said about she liked the actors that they picked is literally the nicest thing I've heard about that movie.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people bitch about Sherry Moon Zombie, like she does not act very well, and her portrayal of Marilyn was not great. But of course, he would put her in it. But
if you want, she's in everything.
Yeah, exactly. She's in all of his movies.
Yeah, it's like Tim Burton and what's her face.
Exactly. All right.
Bonham Carter.
Yep. So also,
did I say Tim Curry? I meant Tim Burton.
You said Burton.
Okay.
You did say Burton. Yes. All right. And then it's another question. Have you watched Velma? No. Never will.
I refuse. They don't even have Scooby-Doo in that shit. Fuck that show. Plus,
no.
I hate Mindy Kaling. I think she fucking is trash. I hate everything she's in. I love The Office, and I hate the fact that she's in it.
Yeah. I hate what they've done with all of the characters effectively, and the fact that Scooby is in it, but Scooby is a black woman. Yes, not joking. Scooby is not a dog in this one because it's a quote-unquote prequel. The gang is not friends. In fact, she ends up spending most of her time ragging on them. And Scooby, as a character, quote-unquote, is a black woman in the show. Or girl.
No, Shaggy was a black dude.
And still.
And
yeah, they made Shaggy.
I haven't watched it. I only seen the commercials for it, so I never saw
that
any
happens
mention of
later.
Scooby.
Yeah, that happens later, and it's spelled different. Okay, so she also says, I have been watching / reading Scooby-Doo stuff all my life since the beginning. This is the only time I wanted to choke a cartoon character. Have fun. Not gonna watch. It is the 3rd worst rated TV show of all time, according to IMDb. Yeah, I don't know what the other 2 are.
Oh man, I didn't know what the other 2 are. Just see what I think are worse.
Yeah, so worst rated things of all time. It was a terrible fucking plan. Whoever came up with this, whether it was Mindy Kaling or someone else, needs to be fired from Hollywood.
Supposedly she like wrote it and starred it and all.
It's woke fucking garbage. The whole thing is fucking.
So
horrible.
Mike's gonna love it.
I was gonna ask Mike if he's done a rant video yet.
No.
But he would have to watch it.
I love Mike. I love Mike and I love interacting with Mike, but I can't. His videos kill me, man. Like I can't get into them. I've tried. I throw him on to give him the watch, like to help his numbers. But man, I kind of like blank out.
Guess so. Okay, so also on the Pitbulls episode, Jay wrote in, not just with the links from the email, but also put this, said, used to work at my mom's dog grooming shop. Been bit so many times I've lost count. The worst dogs for biting were American Cocker Spaniels. Interesting. All right. As for Rottweilers hating other dogs, mine bowed down to my mom's Chihuahua, but you let another one come in the yard, he would beat their butts to the road and stop. Oh, I get
He'd chase them to the road. He'd chase them to the road and then he'd stop.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas are agents of evil. I'm telling you right now. Those dogs, I hate them. I have 10 puppies in my house right now that I'm fostering. You need to relax. That's Purse, so I only partly hate her. Now
I'm only gonna partly let her eat your fucking face then. Because she's mean as fuck.
Yeah.
She wouldn't like him because he's Canadian anyways.
Probably.
Yay. Yeah.
She's very nationalist.
Yeah. She's a Mexican dog that hates anything that's not American.
That makes sense.
She's a Mexican German dog that hates anything that's not American.
Man.
She's a fucking wiener dog mixed with a Chihuahua.
See, I know what dachshunds.
I'd love to see that. Okay,
I know what dachshunds were bred for.
Yeah,
I don't understand what Chihuahuas were ever bred for.
Dachshunds were hunting dogs, weren't they? Like rabbit dogs?
No, badgers.
So the word dachs is German for badger, so it's literally badger dog.
Yeah.
Badger.
So
by the way, fun fact about dashhounds: they were bred with a curved up tail, so that when they got stuck in the badger hole,
you can pull them out.
You can actually grab them and pull them out. Yep.
Yeah,
a lot of terriers have that. Like
they're cylindrical so that they can go into a badger hole.
Yep.
And I always said that because we had 3 dachshunds over time, not at the same time, but because they're so fucking loud when they bark, I always said that they actually bark from their asshole and their whole body acts as just a horn to make it louder.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No, that is no shit, man. That is true.
Dude, they're so fucking loud.
I know. For such a small dog, like for a dog that size. Our dachshund that just passed on us there, when she would, if somebody came to the front door, right, she would immediately start to do that alert barking thing, right? Like someone's at the front door, right? But she would get into it so much, she would literally her body would lock in a howl position. Like her head would be up in the air. She'd be mid-bark, and then she would just stop. Yeah. No. She would bark. Her head would come up into a howl, and then she'd stop making any noise, but her entire body locked into position.
Like
and she just froze there. It was so weird.
That sounds like
Luna vibrates.
That's a degenerate problem.
Like she shakes. Like she gets the barking. Like you remember the old the Tom and Jerry cartoons and stuff, like when the dog would get all excited, like it would like bounce in place and like vibrate and move.
Yes.
That's Luna. Like literally she gets on the tile and she starts doing that like kind of little bounce vibrate thing and she'll slide across the tile. It's fucking funny.
Well, the mothers-in-law have a a little Pomeranian named Dixie, and
Pomeranians are mean bitches too.
she's mean until she wants you to. As soon as you pick her up, she shuts up.
Mhm.
Unless she really doesn't like you. She doesn't like kids for whatever reason,
Mhm.
so she'll bark like hell at the grandkids. But
Mhm.
like, what's funny is because she runs the house. All the other dogs in there, including the black mouse cur, the huge fucking 140-pound dog, all of them bow down to her.
Right.
And then, but it's funny when she barks, she does the hop. She barks
Mhm.
so hard that she
Yeah.
hops.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's hilarious. And of course they shave her, so it's like during the summer, and so she looks fucking hilarious. But
And every time I think of Pomeranian now, I think of Blade Trinity. Like,
yes,
a fucking dog.
Oh my
why
god!
did they do that? Yeah,
Chihuahua.
Triple
they
H,
can.
Triple H holding that vampire Pomeranian,
With its mouth open, it had like the Blade 2
the
mouth.
teeth. Yep.
Yeah.
So Chihuahuas were bred as ceremonial dogs meant for sacrifices.
Makes sense.
The dogs were meant for sacrifice.
The dogs.
What were they sacrificing it to? What
They
kind
were,
of terrible god?
From the like Aztec, Toltec
When they didn't have
Empire.
any, they didn't have any captives to sacrifice, they
Uh,
used the dogs as stand-ins.
So they were
virgins.
bred for companionship, but also for religious ceremonies, rituals, and even food.
Ugh.
So they're mean because they were sacrificed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
So
y'all
they're
used to kill our
genetically-
ancestors and eat them. We're gonna fuck y'all's ankles up now.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense why they're so mad to everyone, because they don't want to get sacrificed, which no one would do nowadays. Because I think that's how we get hurricanes in the South. So either I was gonna say that's why the Yucatan Peninsula constantly gets hit by hurricanes.
Oh no!
It's thousands of years of Chihuahua sacrifice. It's just
It's the
nature
Chihuahua
getting back at them.
spirits coming back.
Oh, jeez. All right. So one last comment confirming our Assassin's Creed discussion. Assassin's Creed came out on console at the same time and PC 6 months later. So like usually Assassin's Creed would console or whatever hop within 6 months. So when
the time release was both consoles and then PC, not one console and then the other.
Well, I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But once again,
I thought it was a time release PlayStation to Xbox, but he's saying it was home consoles and then PC.
That's what he's saying here, yes. But also PC always seemed like, unless it was a PC game first and then they redeveloped it for console, like it's always kind of that way, So either way, it makes me feel stupid that I could have been playing Assassin's Creed all those years on Xbox.
You should feel stupid because it's an amazing game series.
I never knew. Even my friend that I was going to borrow the PlayStation from and the games did not know it was on Xbox. Like, so even in the day, did not ever know that it was on Xbox too. So we're all dumb. It's fine. Maybe it's, you know what it is? It's Mandela Effect. Do you guys remember our whole episode on Mandela Effects? That was a good one.
No.
Way to play along, Ricky.
No. I remember we talked about it.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is pretending that
hold
we
on,
did
guys,
a whole episode.
And then I know
I'm about
what
to turn
you're
on the
doing.
camera.
I know what you're doing.
I know you should play along.
I'm not
I'm about to turn on the camera, guys.
I'm assuming there's a Luna.
No. Luna's in the house.
Oh, well, you said come here. I was saying
No, it's telling Isaac to come here.
Oh, Isaac. Okay.
Because I wanted to show y'all something. Yeah, Isaac's here. He can't hear you because I got my headphones on, but he's here. He said he's waving hi. He said hi. They can hear you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
They said, "Shut up, kid."
Oh, okay.
We did not say that.
I didn't say that. I want to be one of the cool kids now.
I just turned the camera on for that. Oh, there it is. You said you were getting it for your birthday.
Nice.
By the way, happy birthday to Ricky.
I appreciate it.
It is his 50th birthday.
Yeah, close enough. I mean, time only moves forward, so I'm closer to 70 than I am 20, so I'm good with that.
Yeah. So
it literally just walked through the door. They just went to pick it up while I was going.
Yeah.
While I was on
Nice.
here.
Nice.
So
now I got it.
Oh,
now I'm hanging up on you guys. I'm done with the podcast. I'm going to set up.
Ricky's going to go play his. Now, so for those who couldn't see, obviously, that was his PlayStation 5 God of War Ragnarok edition. Same thing I got for Christmas. So, yeah, we'll never see Ricky again because it'll be like me playing God of War Ragnarok right now.
PS5
So,
sucks.
So with that, we'll just get into our weeks.
Yeah, let's get. My week was very short. It started. It's over. Next.
Yep. Ricky's like, I just got a PlayStation. We're good. Let's go.
Next.
Yeah. So no.
And I got a second controller.
Oh, good for you. You won't need that for anything.
Yeah, because I don't have to use that stupid white one.
See, I need to get one. I just haven't been able to find one of those locally. So.
And then PlayStation, you can go on their store and buy like a case. You can pop that white off and make it black, so it matches my other stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know why they
blackwashing things.
I don't know why they went with a white case, because it's stupid.
Because they wanted to make it look like Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's gonna get dirty.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
You can look it up. It's pretty funny. Either way, so I'll go ahead and get started here since Ricky's gonna play with his PlayStation real quick.
No, you're good.
I know. I'm just messing with you. So
just want to know if you want.
There he goes. So either way, I did want to start out with things I've been watching. Definitely got to watching that 90s show. I think I mentioned last time, possibly, or maybe it was with you guys. I definitely said I only got 3 episodes in.
Yeah, it was us, and I finished it. It wasn't as bad as you made it out.
Okay, I know. So what I was gonna say is, I did what you did with She-Hulk, and I rewatched it with the wifey.
Okay.
So going in with that same mindset, going back through it, and also not sleeping through the beginning of episode 3 helped a little bit. But I will say, like, overall the show is fine, but I do think that the best parts of it were when the original cast was directly involved, not just Red and Kitty.
Fez was again awesome in this one.
Fez was used exactly as Fez should be used.
Yep.
with Shez Fez.
Fez.
And then when they brought in what's his face, his old rival from the show. That was Fenton. Fenton. Yes,
oh
Fenton.
My God,
yes.
the
Fenton.
Principal from Community. Oh, I love that guy.
So as soon as I wish it hadn't been spoiled in the trailer that he was back in there, because their trailer gave away everything. The whole
they
fucking
wanted to
show.
Make sure everybody came and watched
and
this shit.
So it was okay. I do have some issues with it because there was definitely modern day bullshit sort of.
They did try to slip a lot of woke stuff in there that would not have been around in the mid-90s.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that. The blatantly gay Asian kid, I think, was like definitely not a 90s thing. I mean, like, I had gay friends in the 90s, but it wasn't like that. Like the way they tried to portray it with the whole coming out and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't like that. You either did come out or you didn't. They didn't. It wasn't like it is nowadays. Yeah, they
did it. Parents weren't as cool about it as they are now either. That mom would not have shrugged that one off.
Yeah. So I think they definitely would, at least in that aspect, they did it. But for me, it's like nothing about the show was earned. It's like everything just was. Like from, like at least in the in original That 70s Show, they were all friends with the exception of Jackie, who was new to the group, and then Fez, who was new to the group. But they were all friends otherwise. These guys, most of them knew each other and were hanging out, and then Leia was new to the group, but they were all instantly best friends across the board. I thought that the relationship between her and Kelso was forced, like not even like weird teenage angst, but just forced. Although I will say the kid they got to play,
Kelso's kid looked like
Jay. He looked like he looked like the kid of them. Yeah, he looked like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's kid. It was like, how did they fucking do that? Also, like overall, there were some definite like actual funny moments, and then like them getting high just didn't have the same effect. Like to me, the kids were nowhere near as good as any of the originals.
Oh no, not at all.
It was it. But like, and then I started looking at it as like, okay, but they're also sort of making this as though maybe it was in the 90s, not just the show, but the show was made in the 90s.
As somebody who might have partook of mild hallucinogens in the 90s, nobody sat around in a basement giggling and laughing like that, dude. We were out riding around, smoking and listening to music and getting into shenanigans.
And also, go ahead though.
No, you're good.
Well, I was going to say, and no one, especially teenagers, are hauling a fucking keg up the ladder of a water tower. Fuck off.
Well, that's that's
we would have poured all of it into cups. We would have got it all into cups, and we would have built a contraption that got cups up there before we would have toted a fucking keg up there.
We'd have found a fucking 100-foot hose and pumped that shit from the ground.
That was like the first thing my wife said as soon as that like the keg showed up at the top of the water tower. She's like, "How the fuck?"
And I swear,
and by the way, if you've ever messed with a keg, like as soon as it dropped, you knew it was a prop because that ting 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 when it came down the stairs. I'm like, that's an empty fucking keg. Because a real keg full of alcohol, like boom, 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 making all kinds of fucking it
doesn't echo.
Noise. At all.
And then having worked for a brewery for a brief time and having to move around full-size kegs, joke. It's no joke. Like, especially if it's full.
Yeah, because the guy that brought it out to the van just like
just tossed it,
handbagged it in the back like it was a sandbag.
Now,
like, no.
And to be fair, it's not a full keg either. It's like a half keg because like you could tell by the size of it, it's like that's not a full sized.
But it wasn't a pony keg either.
It wasn't a pony. They have halves. They have halves. They have quarters. They have all kinds.
Oh yeah, they have the ones like you have in the bars and stuff like the little small places.
Yeah, so it wasn't. It clearly wasn't a full size normal like industrial keg. You know, but it's still some teenage kid, unless he was like a freaking like lineman, isn't gonna be hauling that shit up, you know. I mean, but at the two of them, because I remember in the first one that was a full on keg when they got that keg and then had the same exact repeat thing. You know, they had to get to tap and blah 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 blah. But then they have I could have sworn they had a pool party, like it was the empty pool, and they all did that if I recall correctly, or maybe it was a different show.
Mixing it up with another movie or show.
Yeah, another Teenage Angst show. But either way, they always showed two people moving that keg, not one person just hauling it up. So, but then again, the dude at the liquor store would have used the dolly to get it to the back of the van and probably, you know.
He probably would have told them to put that motherfucker in there.
Yeah.
To be honest, he would not have tried to load it.
I kind of wish that the liquor store played a little bit more of a bigger part other than like the first episode and done, you know. It seemed like it would have been a bit more fun. Also, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, these quote-unquote 30-minute episodes felt like super fucking long. I don't know what it was. Like, I think because they're legit 30, not like, 22, 26.
22 minutes, yeah.
You know, so they felt like the first episode, the pilot episode felt like it was an hour. And I looked at it and I'm like, that was a 30-minute episode. What the fuck did they do? I think that Red and Kitty were the best thing about it, other than Fez.
I think the worst one was Leo. Like they so overdid the burnout stoner hippie on him. Like it was obnoxiously like I was like, okay.
I found he was always obnoxious even in the 70s show, like that burnout hippie.
But they made it worse though.
Well, he's 80-something years old and still getting as stoned as he ever did.
Yeah.
The Lost in the Woods was so stupid. I feel like every single episode...
Hey man, my car's right over there, man. Like, fuck off.
No, I just they captured like 2% of what was great about the original, and then like faked kind of the rest of it. Like, that's the only thing is like it was a poor imitation in my opinion. It was fine.
It was like a watered down. It was better than the 80s show that they did back in the day.
Because that wasn't technically connected. You know, I know
it was like his cousin or some shit.
Yeah, but it was still not the same people just in 1980. You know. Yeah. So for me, I actually would have enjoyed it actually just following the old cast in their new life, kind of like what Fuller House did, not centering around Red and Kitty, but I did find it interesting. I guess the old sets were just still around because I don't see like they would completely redo all of that shit.
You'd be surprised at how many sets studios hold on to and store
now.
Away.
Yeah.
Dude, compared to back in the day. They're still running around making movies and sets that were used in the 50s and 60s. Well, they just upgrade them.
Yeah, well, I was thinking back to like the Star Trek days where the old ones, they would either repurpose for the movies until they were running to the ground, or sometimes shit would get burned down, or they would part it out to go do other stuff and then have to reconstruct it very quickly to pull off like 3 scenes or something like that. That's one reason why the Enterprise bridge was so fucking different all the time. But like even now they repurpose sets because it costs so damn much to redo them, especially in sci-fi. But like in this case,
That's why it's just easier to green screen it.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, yeah, you're exactly right. One thing I appreciated was like they did one episode where like everybody was stuck inside because it was raining, and then like the end of the episode they went outside to play basketball. What I appreciated is it wasn't just a nice sunny day. The ground was all wet, like it had been raining all day, and it was still part. I was like, hey, that's actually fucking realistic. Now the not letting any water into the basement when they came in during a downpour, that was some bullshit in my opinion.
I don't even running down. It would have been running down them stairs like a fucking waterfall.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but that's just TV magic, so to speak. But like, I mean, it's okay. But like the Leia thinking that she's so desperate to go get her first kiss that she goes and lip rapes a boy at the mall.
That was shit was super rapey, dude.
Like,
and then that mom trying to be cool, hanging out with the teenagers at the mall, super creepy.
Like for on that aspect, like whatever was it, Sherry, I think something like that. Like her character was an interesting new wrinkle. She was like the new Bob, basically.
And Bob looked fucked. That actor, man, he looks rough, dude.
But I mean, it's still been 20 fucking years. Kurtwood Smith without all the makeup and stuff looks pretty fucking rough. Also, episode 1, I don't know if you guys caught this. So when Eric and Donna show up, and then Kitty greets him at the door, and like she just straight up, he says, "Mom, quit motorboating me," or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He has her makeup on his shirt for the rest of the episode that he has that shirt on.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Nice.
Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like,
I think I mentally blocked it out when he's like said motorboating to his quote unquote mother, and I just went nope, and yeah.
I just found it. I actually found that part funny, but
that's
the fact
continuity.
When I looked at it, yeah, I was like, what the fuck is on his shirt? So when we rewatched it, I didn't pay attention to the fact that she literally snuggles her face. That is her actual makeup on his fucking shirt. That means they had to shoot that in order to keep that continuity. I was like, nice. I was like, I actually like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, like I buy that Kitty and Red's continued life even without kids and all that kind of stuff. When the internet stuff came in and all that kind of stuff, yeah, let's set the computer up on the fucking table directly in front of the TV.
The best was him trying to look at porn. I don't know if y'all remember trying to look at porn in dial-up days where you had to wait for it to load and it would like build it one line at a time on the fucking screen. Oh my god.
Yeah, can't even imagine what the connection of AOL was like way back then.
Oh god, in the middle of Point Place, fucking Wisconsin, that shit was garbage.
I'm sorry. Am I the only one old enough here to know what 288K modem speed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
cool. No, we agree. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you weren't watching. He was looking at pictures.
Yeah. He was looking at pictures loading.
Yeah.
So it'd literally just be like a chick's face for like 30 minutes. And
but the fact that he
15 minutes and
I mean even the Simpsons did that joke way back when with the comic book guy
Simpsons did it.
Janeway naked and it wouldn't load in time. And then the Homer's pop-up came up for his internet company. What was it Hyper Mega Net or something? Either way. Like so either way, it was okay.
It was enjoyable,
but
it wasn't great. I feel no need to rewatch the first season, but I will watch a second season if it comes out.
But I would rewatch the old stuff.
Yes, I've rewatched the old stuff recently, like in the last couple of years.
It's except for those bad seasons.
Last 2 seasons.
Yeah. When Eric left, goes up to college, it just got stupid after that.
So that's a segue, y'all, to a continuity error. So Leia is turning 15 years old in 1995 in the middle of summer. That would mean that she would have to be born in 1980. Which means she would have been conceived in October of 79 when Eric was in Africa.
No, he could have been over to visit because remember he used to come over.
They were broken up.
They talked about because they were together by the end of the thing when they did the.
They only got together in that moment. They had been broken up for most of that year while he was in Africa.
Dude, I don't know if you remember high school,
this,
but you could break up with your girlfriend and you'd still be banging. It don't matter.
Except that he never came back from Africa. Like that
he came at least once.
Yeah, on New Year's Eve of 1979. He had been gone for like almost 2 years at that point. So
close enough.
So that's a continuity error unless she's an extreme preemie.
That's a possibility too.
It is, especially in the 90s. But like she would have to have been like months, like 4 months early.
No.
October, I guess 2 months, maybe 3 months, but like
Yeah.
being a preemie myself, I mean, I should have been born in March. I was born in January. So I mean, it's possible, but she would have had to been conceived like then.
Yep.
Like, and we also don't know how long they've been married. Like we know they have been married and they've been together the whole time. We know that Kelso and Jackie have been off and on the whole time.
Third marriage. No, they've been married and divorced twice already.
Yeah, this is their second remarriage.
Yeah, second remarriage.
Well, okay, so was it that they actually got divorced, or were they just saying they're just renewing?
They got divorced.
Nope.
They flat out got
remarried. They got
3
married,
times.
got divorced. Yeah, this was their third one, and this is the one that's gonna work. And then they started fighting. That shit was funny as well.
Also,
third time's the charm, right?
Also, they cut out any reference to hide at all.
Never even spoken of.
Never even spoken of.
Fucked. I'm so tired of that shit.
But here's the thing, Danny Masterson.
I'm out of cancel culture.
His whole thing, like, I get it, like, but he's still fighting that shit in court. Like, it's not even been decided.
He's one of the few people who have not go, you know what? Whatever, man. He's fighting it. So that tells me I think he might be a lot more innocent than people are giving him credit for.
As of January this year, he's got a hearing coming. The next hearing's coming up in March. And like he's been fighting it the whole time. Like he's got a bunch of them dismissed initially, and then like his girlfriend at the time said no, he was raping me all this time. And there's been a whole. I've read into a lot of it, and it's like I don't think he's innocent or anything, but I think it's fucked to completely eliminate his character from the situation. Now all the other weird stuff that was sort of going on around the Scientology stuff, which is actually part of the main issue, is that it was a Scientology thing. He was big into Scientology at the time. He's out now, but. Weird how when he left Scientology, all these weird rape accusations came out. No tinfoil hat, just weird.
Wait till Tom Cruise gets out.
He's their god. He would not leave. So anyway, aside from him, the only other person that I saw that was kind of wiped from canon was Lori. Like they never mention Lori at all. The sister. They talk about Eric being. They sort of hint at when, because he said that he said he would never have another kid, but then we have Eric. But Lori as a character never once mentioned or brought in. And I know that the original Lori died, if I remember correctly.
The actress
died, and then they replaced her briefly, for any other appearances.
I think you got that backwards. I think they had an original Lori, and that actress, they didn't like her. Like she didn't screen well, so they replaced her. And the one they replaced her with, that actress died in real life.
Either way, one of them died. But there was not an on-screen Lori, which would have been interesting,
But I mean, they didn't mention Lori's off doing well here.
Yeah,
they just
didn't mention anything about
mention it at all.
Yeah.
She was the older, the blonde, right? The older.
Yeah, she was the first kid.
Stupid one.
And she was banging Kelso for like the longest time. Right. And that's when he was
shooting on Jackie. She was so
Jackie.
dumb, she made Kelso seem smart. That's how dumb she was.
Well, she was super manipulative. Like, that's where her power was. So
in her vagina.
See, here's the thing that we're talking about. We're talking about how good the old show was in comparison now. But
the old show was not perfect.
No, it wasn't. It was not perfect.
But you can't help but ever compare the original to the reboot or whatever, right? I mean, it's just.
And also,
but like we're talking about Matheson fighting all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's fucked that they.
But somewhere along the line, they have offered him an out. They're like, just plead to this, and you'll be fine. But he has lost literally everything, and still is fighting. That tells me that either he is literally the most narcissistic person in the world who knows that these are facts that they have proof of, but he still thinks he can beat it, or he's at least more innocent than they're putting out.
Yeah. So we'll be following that whenever it comes back out in March.
But speaking of people who took plea bargains to get out of being in trouble,
we'll talk about that later.
Y'all. God damn it! I was trying to help set one up. Fuck.
I haven't done my week yet.
We haven't got through my whole week. We only talked about that
week.
90s show. Yeah,
my week was fucked.
Yeah.
Now
so either way,
you assholes instead of playing PlayStation. So it's not.
You can play that. You can play that later. It's fine.
Welcome.
I gotta work tomorrow.
So still talking about things I was watching. So we started watching The Warrior Nun on Netflix last night. It's okay, but I fell asleep. Should not eat a lot of should not eat a lot of pizza and then try to watch a slow rolling show. The CG in it's actually pretty decent. The girls they have in the show are also really decent to look at. The story is interesting. If you like just kind of the battling the supernatural type shows. But like I'm gonna have to go back to the last 3 episodes and rewatch because I fell asleep and then I was in and out. Like I was fucking crashed on a couch, and she's oh, by the way, our couch fucking broke this past week, which is fun. I need to fix that tomorrow if I can.
That's the worst.
Okay. Also, because we'll get to The Last of Us into one of our main topics here. So yes, Christine.
Yes, Christine.
I watched The Last of Us.
Finally,
we all watched it. We're going to talk.
I mean, I watched it.
Quit throwing us into that fucking lump. I watched it release day. As soon as it came out at 9:00, I was watching them.
And I think I watched it on Tuesday or Wednesday eventually.
I think I watched it at 10:00. Oh,
and I watched last episode 2. I watched it Monday morning. So, you know, I watched. Oh, not well. No, I watched it after I got home from working on my car. That was the other thing last weekend. Fucking put the radiator in my new car, and that was a huge fucking ordeal, and it shouldn't have been.
Mishimoto sucks.
Yeah, well, not every other option copies the same thing.
eBay radiators are garbage.
Yeah, well, eBay radiators definitely are. This was a legit purchase. The problem is they all copy the Mishimoto design, so I would have the same problem regardless of what I did. But either way, it definitely cools significantly more than it used to.
I didn't realize you had an SRT4, by the way, because I have a Cobalt SS, so I'm surprised that we're actually able to get along in a conversation. So,
well, that's because the Cobalt SS can never do anything the SRT could, so it's fine.
Okay.
So, anyways, I want to go play my PlayStation. You fucking nerds are talking about cars now.
Because EcoBoost doesn't count. That's why. Actually, that's Ford. Sorry, that's Ford. I forgot what they called the Chevy thing. The crappy ass little supercharger. Ecotech. I was close. I used to change oil on those. I should have remembered. The other thing is I got in the newest Power Rangers comic and also the newest Power Rangers / Ninja Turtles comic. Holy shit, where they're going with that one is going to be fun. So this new crossover, they invented a new way that the Turtles and Rangers could morph at the same time. But it's only for a limited amount of time. They're basically splitting the powers, and they have to stay near each other. But
fuck me.
But the turtles don't morph.
So the turtles just turn into backpacks and climb on the fucking Power Rangers' backs, and then they just
they can still fight. They just got to stay within like 20 feet.
Power Ranger has to plug their morpher into the turtle's cloaca.
Sorry. Please walk me through this in 30 seconds or less. So the turtles have morphing powers as well.
Okay, so this is the sequel series. So the first series, Shredder kidnapped Tommy, stole his Green Ranger powers.
Okay.
And then working with Rita, devised a way to block the Rangers from using their morphers.
Okay.
So they gave them to the Turtles, and so the Turtles became the Turtle Rangers, along with April O'Neil. So April O'Neil took the
Pink
and 30. Pink. That's 30 seconds. That's all you get to know. That's the end of that fucking bullshit.
To get caught up,
I literally counted that out. Like
that's
I watch. I was looking.
Yeah.
That's as much as I needed to know.
So in the new one, they've continued on their friendship. So like the Turtles are actually visiting the Rangers at the beginning, like half of them, and they have like holographic stuff so they look human. And then they're ordering like the weirdest shit at the juice bar, and Ernie's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then
you're getting as bad as Kara. Like, tell me about your day, and it takes her 10 hours to tell me about her 8-hour
I'm just explaining what happened in the comic.
He said 30 seconds, not 30 minutes.
No, he wanted the backstory. I'm talking about the new stuff.
I said, give me 30 second synopsis. Go.
Yeah, that was to get you caught up.
You're like, well, this one time April had her hair come to the left. And
no. Well, that might be true. But actually, one thing that's interesting, and I need to check the toy now because I have the April O'Neil Pink Ranger. So they actually did a thing. So, you know, they all morph together. They go into battle together against Rita and Krang's forces combined, which is a new thing. And to differentiate, April does not have the skirt on her morph. And then she goes, yeah, I just chose not to have the skirt. And Kimberly's like, wait, you can choose not to have the skirt? What the fuck? Like, I was like, so they actually like to and now I have to go back and check the first one and see if they even had that. So that's an interesting idea. It's like, oh, wait, you can literally tailor your fucking suit if you want. So I don't know. It's interesting, and they introduced Ranger X last time. At least that's what they called him. That's Casey Jones. Turns out Dimension X had Power Rangers at one point.
Of course they fucking did.
And
why wouldn't they?
Because other dimensions, other worlds had Power Rangers. It's fine as long as the morphing grid can reach it. But they were killed like so long ago, and nobody used the power since.
Morphing grid.
So I will give you a big, huge 3 guesses as to what colors the remaining morphers are for the Dimension X Rangers.
I'll go first. Is it red, blue, orange, and purple?
Yes.
Green.
That's weird. That's weird that the remaining 4 morphers that no one is using seem to have corresponding colors to the Ninja Turtles. That's odd. So yeah, by the way, they're doing really bad about spoiling shit. So they already showed the cover of issue 5. We're only on issue 2. They showed the cover of issue 5 that revealed all the shit that's coming. Thanks for that, fuckers. Like, can't even keep secrets for fucking 2 months. So either way.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Spoiler alert, the Turtles and Rangers are going to win.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
So, the other thing is, another comic, I did get the Phase 2 Volume 4 of IDW that was bought for my birthday back in December and only just got here last week. So it took even though it was on Amazon, took forever to get here.
I told you BBTS has all that shit, man.
Not anymore, they don't. Go look. All that shit's sold out. Yeah, all that shit's sold out. Don't worry about it. Well, you think I wouldn't
flipping
check?
It on Amazon?
No, this is some other bookstore. I don't even remember where. And when it's not an Amazon warehouse, it takes fucking forever, or you never get it. Speaking of that, I did order something today. Teasers. The Dark Knight's Metal Omnibus released last week, so I did purchase that today. Hopefully, it'll be here tomorrow or the day after.
What is it? 70?
Huh?
70
Shit, no,
for
it was 130, but it was discounted to 100.
Holy fuck! Why is it so much?
I don't know. It's like 700 pages. So I mean, it's a big fucking book. So, but that way I'll have all of the Dark Knight's Metal. That's not including Death Metal. Like they do a Death Metal omnibus, I'll have to get that down the line because I don't have all of that shit. But I've wanted a full-on Dark Knight's Metal collection because I have all the separate hardcovers, but not the. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't have the original one because the price.
I just have the Road to
Metal.
Metal, and then the very first Heavy Metal, the one with where Joker's trying to trick him into kill him at the end or whatever.
Yep. So I have all the Lucy's, and I have the couple of hardcover collections, but I don't have the main story. But to actually get the full omnibus, I'm on board. Okay. The other thing I got in was the Ronin Warriors Inferno armor from Sentinel.
Weren't you mad because they're doing a repaint already before they give you another one or some shit like that?
No, I was mad that, like, for continuity's sake, like, okay, you released them. They should have released them in the order that the Warriors appeared, and then do the Inferno armor because it came last.
It's an upgrade, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, the fact that it came out 4th is stupid. Like, the other two, and the fact that for whatever reason, all the Sentinel releases got bumped back a couple more months, whether that's COVID or whatever, but they're slow rolling it so badly. Now, it is a repaint mostly, but I looked at it already, and while it has similarities to the Inferno armor, obviously, not the Inferno, the Wildfire armor, it does look to solve a lot of the issues that that first release did. So some of the stuff that tends to be real loose and falls off seems to be somewhat fixed, but I haven't really got to mess with it. I just looked at it. But I love that even though it's the same character, technically, they gave all new face sculpts. So it's actually pretty cool. So you can actually mix and match with your original face sculpts or the new ones. So it's actually pretty neat. And it came with the swords. The upgraded swords, so you don't have to use the originals. Now we just need a white blaze / black blaze to come out, and then I'll be good. But I think I'll start working on that diorama. I was thinking about it again the other day in comparative to my actual Billy shelf, trying to figure out how I want to set that up. And the only other thing I got was one of the Black Series Christmas figures, and I got the like C-3PO Christmas color because I actually like those. But I should have bought them when they were fresh because there was like 2 or 3 that I really wanted, and I fucking just missed them. Like somebody wiped them all out of fucking Target locally. I was like, Jesus. And then like they've got the Amazon exclusive, they got the whatever exclusive one, and
BBTS did have them at one time.
They did, and that's where I got this one. but I missed I think it might have been the gingerbread trooper or whatever
The
they
shore
called it.
trooper or whatever.
Yeah. So I feel like I don't have all of them, but I have the ones I like. So
Do you
like,
have Chewbacca as the snowman?
no, I missed that one. But wait, was it Chewie?
Yeah, he was like the abominable snowman or whatever.
Because I know I'm thinking of the Easter rabbit one or whatever. That's
Ugh.
There's another one it's not Chewie. It's what's his face, Black Chrysanthemum, but they give him like extra ears and stuff. I forgot what
Same
the
thing. When I say
redeco
Chewie,
is.
I mean Wookiee.
Well, I know, but like the Chewie mold is actually good. The fucking Black Chrysanthemum mold is not. Um,
Racist.
well, I mean, it's just they made a really crappy one. So, either way, I believe that's it for me. I don't. I need to get back to reviewing now that January is over, so I can, start taking place at a higher AdSense of fucking February.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for me.
My turn. My 2023 started off as garbage. I woke up one morning, the second week of January, and my truck was in the ditch at the end of my driveway with the door open and the tire stuck in the air and rolling, and it was running and it was in drive. And that was at about 6 o'clock in the morning. So I went out to my truck. That, of course, your brain does not register these things. But yeah, someone tried to steal my truck right out of my driveway. And apparently they had done it by actually trying to. So for those of you with keyless entry vehicles, they're insanely simple to hack now. Because if somebody has a dummy key, they can just create a new one out of the VIN that's right underneath your windshield.
Yep.
And code it to your car and drive off with it, which is apparently what these guys tried to do. But apparently, whatever the hell they did screwed up the power steering. So when they tried to drive it down my driveway, they couldn't turn and they just drove the truck straight into a ditch. And there it sat. So I woke up.
Wasn't there, because Sean talked about the fact, because that one part of your dash was pulled open, and Sean
Yeah.
mentioned something about that
They
being
get to the computer,
how they could do it. No, there's
So
something.
it's so I didn't understand why they did that, right? Because theoretically they're trying to get access to the computer, right? That they need access to the computer to be able to code the key that they're cloning into the computer or the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
can do that typically through the ODB2 port, which is normally right underneath your dash, right?
yeah, by the fuse box.
Right. But for whatever reason, they popped part of the dash open. They actually popped off the panel that controls the lights, which is just to the left of the steering column. And they popped that out, and I think they used that to get access to the wiring harness that goes to the computer that's just in behind the steering wheel column. I don't know why they did it that way, but whatever. I'm obviously not smart enough to be a thief. But that's what they did. And
the fact they had to leave your truck behind means they aren't either.
Well, exactly. That's what everybody joked about. It was like, how are you smart enough to steal a car, but you don't know how to drive, right? But this is what we found out when we got to the dealership. So anyway, apparently in my neighborhood, there has been for the last several months a rash of car thefts. Shut up. There's a rash of car
Sorry,
thefts.
I'm muting.
It's all good. It's all good. Rash of car thefts. Specifically, they're targeting Dodge, Jeep, Ram vehicles. And then about 3 days after this happened with my vehicle, they arrested 3 individuals that were caught with a bunch of Dodge, Ram, Jeep key fobs, some ODB2 scanners, a computer, yada yada yada, right? Stuff to hack your truck. But yeah, so when I had to take my truck down to the dealership to get the keys recoded, because obviously they've coded in a key to the truck, so I had to get all my keys reprogrammed, get the dash put back together, and the alignment was thrown off because they drove it hard into the ditch. They called me and they said, this is what we found, we're going to go ahead and fix it all up. It's going to take a couple days because you're number 6. And I was like, number 6 what? And they said number 6 of theft recovered vehicle. The other 5 are Jeeps. I was like, really? So that was the start of my 2023. And then on the same day, we were talking about dash hounds earlier. So my wife and I, the busty mechanic, we've had a dash hound for 15 years who that night was having trouble breathing. And we got up that morning, found the truck, we dealt with the truck. We looked at her, that took the whole morning. And the whole time we're watching our dash hound continuing to lie on the couch, be lethargic and whatever. And I'm sure you can see all where this story is going. So we ran her down to the vet that afternoon after we got the truck sorted out. And sure enough, 15 years old, she was congestive heart failure, and we had to make the decision to put her down. So my 2023 is not starting off fantastic, and the only way that we've managed to move past all of this is we decided to, as those of you who already subscribe to my channel probably know, we decided to take on the fostering of 10 puppies. They were all 8 weeks old, and their mother, because our local rescue was struggling to find anyone that could take them on, and we just happened to have a large house with a large dining room. That's, if anybody of you have a formal dining room, you know that your formal dining room doesn't get used unless it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, or maybe for you Americans, the Super Bowl.
No, that's for the living room.
That is that a living room thing? Right,
Yeah.
because the TV is there. Okay, that was
you gather around the TV in the bar.
That was a stupid Canadian statement. I apologize. I take.
How dare you?
How
How dare
dare I?
you misrepresent our Super Bowl,
Correct.
the holiest of Sundays?
The holiest of Sundays. So yeah, we currently have 10 puppies. Actually, no, we're down to 6. We did manage to find another foster that we transferred 4 of the puppies off to. So now we're down to 6 puppies and the mom. It is still absolute chaos in the house, but we're having a fun time. By the way, life lesson for everybody out there: don't foster 10 puppies at once. Don't foster 4 puppies at once. 3 is probably your limit, because puppies shit and piss everywhere. And
I've been saying Bob Barker's been right since the 70s.
Yeah.
Have your pet spayed or neutered.
Paid or neutered, man. That's
if only that kept them from shitting and pissing.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we've been doing for the last couple weeks. We did watch the 90s show. Similar opinions to you, Shoky. It was okay. Again, Red Foreman and Kitty made the show. The only, really cool parts were, what the fans wanted, right? Which is bring us the old characters back. Fez was fantastic. Shay Fez, that whole thing.
But none of them
no,
interacted.
not Shay Fez. Ches
Fez. I apologize.
So, also,
let my French get in there. Sorry.
Nobody other than Donna and Fez, nobody else interacted. Like there was no crossover between the old cast.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
Yeah, right. Well, that's probably just availability, right? And how they shot the scenes and stuff like that.
I guess so.
But I will say so Donna and
she's still hot.
Really? You think so?
Nope.
Donna and
she's looking really ragged.
Man, what's the name of the character Mila Kunis plays?
Jackie.
Out of Red Foreman, right? Red and Kitty aged much better than Donna and Mila Kunis. Sorry, I blanked on her name already.
Laura Pepron and Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Jackie.
So Jackie. So yeah. So Lori, Donna, the actress there,
Laura.
She looks like she had her face stretched out because now her eyes look Asian.
Yeah.
You know
no, she actually, if you've seen, if you go back and watch her in Orange is the New Black over the last couple of years,
always looked that way.
She actually has always looked that way.
Really?
But the red hair is clearly
I think it's her hair. I think it's her hairstyle.
The
when
bangs.
she pulls her hair back severely, it pulls her skin's real tight there, and it pulls her eyes and gives her a more Asian look.
Anyway,
because when she was in the 70s show, she always had her hair down, so you didn't really see that.
She just looked weird to me. And I had commented to you guys right in Facebook in one of our chats there right after, I think it was the 3rd episode, right, where the girl, she's trying to get her first kiss or whatever, right? And I was like, man, if that was reversed, right? If that was the guy trying to get her first kiss, that show would have been toast, right? And I was like # double standards and all that stuff, right? So, but I thought it was weird that they would even throw that. Like why put that in that way? Like why have her get her first kiss in that way?
When they were first hinting at it, when she was going around trying, that was fun.
That was kind of funny. The minute that
she actually went through with it, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe they did. Man, they would have burnt this show to the ground if it went the other way.
But my thing is why would anyone her friends literally condoned it. They're like, we're just gonna go to the mall and have you kiss somebody. It's like some stranger at the mall, and the idea of just get it out the way, I guess, has been done in however many TVs and movies, even when it comes to sex, because somebody did that in one of these dumb shows where that was in a Third Rock from the Sun. Tommy went and fucked some chick to get better at having sex so that he would be good at his first time with his girlfriend. He's like, yeah, I just went and did that. It's fine. And she's like, what? You know, so I mean, like, you know, dumb friends telling you dumb things is one thing, but like for them to be like, yeah, you should go do this.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, what was her name? The girl next door, the one that she befriended.
I don't remember.
Oh, the black girl?
Yes.
Yeah. Lynn?
Like
was it Lynn?
Yeah, I think it started with an L, but either way, like the first few episodes, she just was completely grating. Something I don't know, like if she was just overacting, like always like full teeth.
It was the
wide
man.
eyes.
It was the man hating.
No, I didn't care about that part.
Feminism. No, because feminism and man hating are not the same things. People
no. Looking at her was grating. Like not what she was saying. Like just something was visually annoying the fuck out of me.
She reminds me of that one lady on Grey's, and I think it's Grey's Anatomy, the black lady that was on there. Might have been Grey's Anatomy. Might have been one of them doctor shows my wife's watched. I don't know, but it's an actress. If you saw her, you would know her.
Oh, Rusty, I looked up. Sorry to interrupt. It took me so fucking long to find the conversation about his truck. The reason they pulled open the dash was in case your selector wouldn't go into the right gear. That's how you access it manually to put it in drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sorry, but yeah, I think Oh, I know who you're talking about. Rikki.
Something yes. Bernard, like Sandra Bernard or something like that.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. But yeah, but visually she annoyed me. Like I think it was about her eyes and her teeth. Like everything she was like overly excited about, like just oh my god, like back the fuck off. And
very anime in real life.
Yes, and it's just like nobody acts this way. Like, and then like they made it out to where like everybody's a fucking stoner now. It's just like it's like
yeah, that definitely wasn't the 80s.
No.
90s. Sorry,
90s, yeah.
90s, yeah. Her name was Gwen, by the way.
Gwen, yes. So we're close to Lynn. You said Lynn, so
I said Lynn,
close.
So I was phonetically I wasn't off by much.
Sure. Yeah, one syllable. Good job. Bob. Her name is Bob.
Yeah, because Bob is just like
Bob was in the show.
Fucking stupid Canadians. Bob was in the show.
And Bob moved to Florida. So good for Bob.
Bob did move to Florida.
Fuck that. Bob needs a fuck back off to Wisconsin.
Well, the fact that Bob wasn't the landlord next door would have actually made way more fucking sense than selling it to Fenton.
Oh yeah, the other problem with the show too, right, is I kept when I was getting near the last few episodes, I was going, okay, so if they are going to do a season 2 with this, so she's going to go off to school and then she's going to come back every summer? Is that the premise of the show?
It's Hogwarts.
That's what it's looking like,
right? And they're going to hang out in Red Foreman's basement, which he doesn't want
until they move back to Point Place, inevitably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or she decides to go live with Kitty and Red.
Maybe it was maybe it was a thing where they're like, okay, let's throw Donna and oh my god, why am I'm
Eric?
So exhausted.
I was gonna say, don't tell him, let him figure it out.
So exhausted. Eric and Donna.
Yeah.
Let's put Eric and Donna in the show, right?
Yeah.
See what the reaction is to Eric and Donna being in the show, and of course everybody's gonna go woo, right? And then go, okay, that worked. So yeah, let's have them move back to Point Place, and then
what they'll do is they'll force a divorce story in there, and then because they're separating, the daughter needs to have watch. I'm calling it now. It's recorded.
That's
for posterity.
Season 5. That's Season 5 territory.
That's how they're going to get the daughter back there because they're going through divorce and they're separating, and it's too conflicting for her. So Kitty's going to want her back there in Point Place so she can have a stationary home life. Watch.
What they should do is a Christmas special where she comes back during the Christmas holidays.
Yeah,
that's what they should do instead of pretending.
She's gonna run away. She's gonna run away from home because her dad won't let her see Kelso Jr.
But also, the weird conflict that was introduced at the last fucking second.
Yeah, with the brother.
Gross.
Oh, that yeah.
I'm just like, that just clearly states that nobody fucking knows what they're doing or who they want to be with. They're just hormonal little monsters.
Which is accurate,
right?
That part is accurate, but then like all eggs, one basket, stupidity, and then out of nowhere, like I said, everything about the show is completely unearned. Like she didn't spend enough time with the brother to have developed this close of a fucking mindset and simpatico thing,
right? But we're into. I suppose they could have left it for season 2 if they wanted to, right? But
they should have.
Kind of cliffhanger, but they need some kind of cliffhanger. Plus, nobody wants to sit down and watch a 24 episode season of anything anymore, so they had to scram it into.
I wouldn't mind 24 episodes of Vox Machina.
Is scram a word?
Did I just what? Oh, I forgot about Vox Machina. We'll talk about it in Ricky's week then.
Anyway, so I could see the divorce story, by the way, if Laura Prepon decides
to be a shithead and leave and not come
Well,
back.
you know, that, hey, like, I'm good with doing one season, but I didn't want to, you know, come back and rehash something I did years ago, right? So, you know, that could totally be a thing.
They had to
I
have made
grant,
them
I'm calling
stupid,
it
right?
now. I'm
Fair
gonna
enough.
call it right now. That's what's gonna
Fair enough.
happen.
Noted. So noted. I got Fans Toys, Phantasm, and Jive. I did the reviews for Phantasm. I'm working on Jive.
Your favorite figures of all time.
Phantasm is by far an amazing figure. Jive so far is a serious disappointment. And by the way, I went through the transformation one, Ricky, because we were talking about that. And what the fuck? What in the fuck? What is with the over-engineered transformation on this thing? Like, it's
I don't know. Have you done back from alt mode yet?
no, I'm fucking scared.
I'm gonna tell you now, there's tabs where the roof plugs into like the back window screen.
Yeah.
And it is scary as fuck. You feel like you're gonna snap everything. And a couple guys I know that I watched when they did the video on the realm, the figure banging.
Yeah.
They said the trick is to separate the legs, and when you start separating the legs, it forces those tabs to pop out.
Okay.
Because if you try to do it, you're gonna be like holding the ass into the car and yanking the roof, and you feel like you're gonna snap them bitches off.
Yeah. Like I was following the instructions and going through it and just going.
Don't ever, dude. Are you new to Fans Toys? Don't ever follow their instructions.
You know what their instructions? Their instructions in the last few, and I've talked about in a couple of my reviews. Right, is their instructions lately have been actually really good, especially with like their color coding of which part you're moving.
Yeah, that's key. That is key.
It is key, right? So it has been better, and the videos too help. But when I was when I was doing the transformation, the first time I did the transformation, I literally, and could be puppy brain exhaustion, I literally could not remember how I got to the step I was on from the step that I just left.
Oh yeah,
right.
Been there.
It was so complicated. Anyway, so I'm not looking forward to transforming it back or transforming it again or doing the transformation videos that I normally do or the review. I think I'm actually looking forward to.
And then there was something to do with that double hinge with the door where it swings inwards to car mode.
That was
it's like a super tight double hinge, and it's just on a singular free floating post. Like it has no kind of.
Like, you know what was interesting? So I did my unboxing video where I said there's nothing to do.
Which I watched because we're on our way to 975, baby, pushing to 975. I win.
Yeah. So, and you had pointed out, you were like, hey, there's these tabs that you need to roll out that are really hard to get at to lock into shoulders. I was like, oh, and then
those are trash. That doesn't help. No, moving the shoulders, you'll still unplug those tabs.
Yeah. And I started poking around, and then I started noticing comments from people on like the various Facebook groups and stuff. And they were saying, like, apparently this thing is coming in various configurations. Some people are saying they had to rotate the shoulders. Some people are saying they have to pull them down. Some people are saying all their stuff's already tabbed in. Some people are saying the feet are folded up. So like this thing comes in the box in not the same configuration every time, which is weird. And I've come across like Fans Toys figures that there's like one thing or another that's slightly different. But in this case, people are talking about like 5 or 6 different things that are different from everybody else's in the way it was packaged in the box and what they had to do to get it into the right configuration. So anyway, it's weird. What else am I doing? Oh, I started reading the Infinity War because so I bought the graphic novel for the Infinity War because I was like, hey, I remember reading the comics years ago and watching the Infinity Gauntlet, and then I was like, I don't really remember the Infinity War. But then I also but I would like to reread the Infinity Gauntlet first, and found this graphic novel at a local bookstore, and it was called The Infinity War. And I looked at the back of it, and it said, includes Infinity War, Marvel Comics presents Warlock and the Infinity Watch, blah, 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 blah. That all make up the episodes that make up the Infinity War. Started reading it and realized, oh, this doesn't include the Infinity Gauntlet. So I stopped reading it.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn it, okay, I gotta go order from Amazon or something the Infinity Gauntlet graphic novel first, and then I'll read that. Watched The Last of Us. As we talked about, I'm sure that we'll get into that.
We're going to delve deeper here in a minute.
Love it so far. Really good, really solid. And I think that's it. The puppies are my life. That is essentially my life. It is puppy Armageddon over here.
Yeah.
And that is all. Ricky.
Oh, hold on, just real quick before you go, because I had a question when you're talking about the fans choice thing. It's just an idea that came into my mind.
Yeah.
Would you guys buy? Because I don't buy MP, so would you guys purchase an alt instead of buying doubles so that you can have, one in alt mode, one in bot mode? Would you buy a pre-transformed, whichever the opposite would be?
No.
So
the whole reason why I like Transformers is the engineering. I like going through the transformation and going
the puzzle aspect.
Well,
exactly.
And I get that. And I get that. But say you've got your first one that you're going to do your review on and you're going to manhandle.
Yeah.
And say that first one came in bot mode, like it did.
Yeah.
But you could buy a second one that's already in alt mode.
Then I might as well just.
Would you do that?
No, I might as well.
I would do the opposite. The opposite, like you're saying, like this one came in bot mode and he's already transformed it down to alt mode for his video. Then I would buy a second one in bot mode, so I didn't have to push that one back to it again.
Well, that's why I said, would you, if you had the availability to buy the opposite, like so you've got one that came in whichever.
But if I was that guy with availability to buy doubles, like one for bot mode, one for alt mode, and if it was a third one, a triple changer mode, I would buy a representation from each company. Like I wouldn't have two fans toys. I would have the fans toys and the fucking make toys.
Okay.
And I would just pick one for robot and one for alt mode, whichever one looked better, and then I'd go that way.
Yeah, and I do the same thing, right? That I'll buy, like, I'm sitting here right now looking at Jive, right? And I've got Jive in alt mode, but I'm also looking at the Agent Meister one that I did a little while ago, which I thought was a fantastic alt mode, but it's a terrible robot mode representation.
And I got Downbeat, which is just about good in both of them.
Well, yeah, and I'm looking at Downbeat too, but I find there's too much of the toy aspect in the Meister one in robot mode, and the alt mode looks good too, right? But I think, but that's what I would do when I was buying. If I was buying two of the same figure, right? It's like, which one has the best robot mode? Which one has the best alt mode? Would I buy one pre-transformed? Or, I mean, again, like, why would I do it? So if I buy the first one and transform it for the sake of transforming it, just to say that I transformed it, leave it in alt mode, then why would I not just go back and buy a second one if I liked it that much, right? Like, I don't see where I would ever... I'm going to transform one of them and then, that looks good, leave it, and then just go get the same one again in its original mode, whatever that was, right? So,
and when it comes to fans toys, you're always transforming something. Even if you go back and buy a second one, you're still not taking it out of the box and putting it on a shelf without doing stuff to it.
Yeah, in most cases, but it's pretty minor, right? Like, you're just adjusting things here and there.
Usually like rotating a waist or pulling flaps out that were tucked away, shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny how much people freaked out about, oh my god, fans toys mistransformed. They do it on purpose because it saves the paint and it makes the packaging more streamlined. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, they're usually, sometimes they're out of whack for that exact reason, like to make it a little slimmer in one direction, and all that kind of stuff.
Make it all one size instead of having to have a bump out on the front because their feet stick out too far.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's move on to Ricky's week so that we can save some time here.
When did we record last week?
We recorded last Tuesday, and that's when we did the top 5.
Okay, so then it was already Gabriel's birthday.
Yes.
His was Monday. Worked a lot. Even on my days off, went up there. Had to go in and cover for a couple hours yesterday. My coworker had to go to a doctor's appointment, so I went up there and covered for a couple hours till they got back. Friday night, my mom took Karen, myself, and the boys out for dinner for my birthday. And then, because she works weekends, she's a weekend charge nurse, so she's the boss on the weekend, so she has to work every weekend. So then Saturday night, we went out with my in-laws and my father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and sister-in-law, and niece, and Karen, myself, and the boys. And we kind of did, it wasn't just necessarily my birthday. We do it every year. It's the January birthdays because it's myself, Kara, her father, and Gabriel. We all have birthdays in Januaries within like 2 weeks of each other. Like hers is the first one, and then mine is the last one, and there's only like a 2-week gap between them. So everybody's birthday falls in that one little window. So we just do like one big dinner for everybody.
Yep.
And so we did that Saturday night. I had known that the PS5 was kind of the gift she was going for, because we were going to do it for Christmas. You know, it's my gift, but it's more of a family thing because everybody uses it for streaming, and my kids use it they play video games too, so they'll play games on it.
Yeah.
But it was going to be my gift at Christmas, and I told her no, we needed a couch instead. So she's like, well, if we're doing that, then you're definitely getting it for your birthday. And so what she did is she just told everybody for my birthday to give her gift cards, like GameStop gift cards, and just kind of pulled all that together and then added what we needed to it to finish getting it. So last night we got all the cards and stuff, and the plan was we were leaving dinner and we were just gonna swing right by GameStop and pick it up, and then, you know, come home and set it up and get it ready to go. So we got done with dinner, we went over there, and we literally pulled up to the door 7 minutes after they'd closed. Like the dude was still behind the counter.
What time was that?
In there. 9:07.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
I was gonna say if it was 7 o'clock, that would be stupid. Yeah,
we were 7 minutes too late. And so the sign said, hey, you know, 10 o'clock in the morning, they open back up again. So Kara's like, I'll just go back up there in the morning. And I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I appreciate the idea, but I'm a realist. You know, I knew Isaac had wanted to cook breakfast for me this morning, and he wants to cook dinner too. That's my youngest, and he loves to cook. So he wanted to get in there and do that as like a special thing for me. So I was like, we're going to get up in the morning. He's going to cook, you know, we're having the slow rolling birthday morning. So we're going to be taking our time eating at the table like a family and everything. I said, you're going to get down there, you're going to pick it up, you're going to come back, I'm going to have to set it up. It's going to do the initial uploads, then you got to do the game downloads and all that horse shit.
It takes hours.
It's going to take an hour or two to get all that knocked the fuck out of the way. Dude, I said, then I got to go record a podcast for 3 to 4 hours. I mean, it's...
So had you set up the PlayStation first?
Last night.
Well, actually, the download would be taking all your bandwidth, so you'd be having a hell of a time doing a podcast. Look, I'll tell you, okay, so, because I got the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. So, just the initial updates and all the crap that it's got to do. The setup doesn't take long, but the initial updates plus the 2 God of War games, which you don't have to do both, but like it legit took like 4 hours. Mm-hmm. And mind you, on the Wi-Fi away from the thing, so I mean it was a little slower, but like and by the way, Ragnarok just did a game update where they tweak some stuff, so like you're gonna be getting some of the more stuff. And cool. Remember how we talked about Game Plus, New Game Plus on the original? Seems like either late this year, possibly next year, they'll be doing a New Game Plus and or DLC for Ragnarok. So the game has been expanding. Oh, I didn't even really talk about it on mine, so we'll come back next week once you've had a chance to play the game.
So it was, the plan was to set it up last night and let it do all that shit, because I told them we got the 3 to 4 hours worth of podcasting. And then Isaac wants to do dinner, so that's going to be a dinner thing. Well, I always round up.
What was breakfast, by the way?
He made over medium eggs, toast, bacon, and corned beef hash, and it was amazing. That kid can cook, man. He's already said that he wants to be a chef when he grows up, and he has that capability because he doesn't just go in there and cook. He enjoys it, and he loves doing it. And he's like me. He'll watch you take your first bite, not like stare at you, make it awkward. He just wants to see you enjoy it.
Nice.
And so he has it in him. And I said, you can go to school for it. Like, go to actual culinary class and get a degree, and you'll be an actual certified chef. Which is something I never did. I just do it. I've been doing it for 20 years. So like more chef by trade than by training type thing.
Yeah.
So he's really like, he's good, man. Like we watch, of course, all the cooking shows and stuff. I've talked about it before, but he does it with a critical eye. He's not just there for the entertainment purpose and stuff like that. He's constantly asking questions and, hey, okay, they put that on the plate. How would they have done that? And he wants me to show him nice skills and, you know, cooking skills and stuff all the time. So he's really hard into it. So he cooked breakfast this morning. It was delicious.
So, because you and I talk food often. Corned beef hash, hot sauce or no?
Mustard.
Mustard.
I'm a yellow mustard guy on corned beef hash.
I can see that. I can 100% see that.
But I actually prefer rye toast, but I take one for the team. Like, because if I'd said it, they would have went and bought a whole loaf of rye just for me to have rye toast.
I was gonna say all of this seems like the Jewish influence.
Yeah, it's I just swallowed it, one for the team, and I don't mind butter, bread, or whatever the fuck kind of bread we have in there. So I didn't say nothing, so we did that. But it was, man, he's a good cook, dude. It freaks me out sometimes how good he is.
Nice.
How old is he?
11.
Oh,
11.
Has he ever tried like, because usually you just throw your corned beef hash in the pan, right, and then you flip it or whatever. You ever tried putting the mustard on the top before the flip and then letting the mustard get all crusty?
Cook into it? No, I haven't done that yet.
Do it.
But he doesn't do, like, I know what you're talking about. Like, we do the pan sear and you just kind of warm up the bottom after you flip it. No, he does the scattered. Like, he pushes it around.
Oh, okay.
So it's all loose and the whole thing is just crispy.
But
the only thing that makes it a pain in the dick to eat, you have to like eat it with a spoon at that point because it's gonna fall through the fork.
Mush.
But
yeah, it's not crust.
No, it's not mush.
Crust.
It's all crispy. Yeah, it's like just all crust at that point.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd rather like basically almost like a giant patty, and then
Yeah, that's how I like it. I like it like that pan seared on one side, and then you flip it over just long enough to warm the bottom.
Now that I've said that, I want to do that. I'm gonna go get a big can of the because I actually got to use my non-sticks for the first time since Christmas, and made omelets this morning.
I'm gonna tell you the easiest way to do it. Do you have a countertop griddle, like a flat top griddle?
Well, I mean, we do, but I don't.
That's the best way to do it because it's hard. It is hard to flip a corned beef patty.
Oh yeah. No. I would use the griddle plates from the George Foreman.
Yeah,
I was gonna do
something like that. Yeah, like that, because flipping it in the pan is a pain in the ass because of the curved edge. It wants to break and fall apart.
Yeah, I got you. I totally got you. Well, we got one that's a wider, flatter one now, so that I don't have to do it all the way to the edge, so I could get under it.
Get under it real good.
Because we got all new shit at Christmas, but I haven't been able to use the non-sticks yet. And dude, to be able to make an omelet that doesn't stick at all
is amazing.
Dude, it was like orgasm, and then it tasted good too. So
I hate using pans that don't work right now. Like you get because at work, if it messes up, you just order a new one.
You just get a new one. Fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, at home, Kara's a great cook, but she does not take care of utensils because she doesn't think of it that way.
And
she slams them inside of each other, like they're all stacked inside of each other. I'm like, dude, take a piece of. All you got to do is take a piece of wax paper and put it between. If you're gonna stack them on each other and shoot,
that's the first thing Jessica did. So we didn't have enough space for all of them. So like the last two, one stainless, one nonstick, she fucking puts the stainless on top of the nonstick.
Oh, the nonstick. No,
I was like,
reverse that.
Whoa, and I said, fuck off, and I fucking fixed it. And I'm like,
you want me to leave the bathroom door open every time? Don't ever do this.
And I told her, so she cleaned up this morning, and I told her, sponge only. You do not scrub. Like you do not scrub this shit.
Don't even use a sponge. Never.
Well, just wiping it down. Just wiping it down.
A wet paper towel. Don't put any kind of abrasives on it at all.
I wiped it down initially to just clean out most of it in the butter and stuff, so nothing was going to dry in there with a paper towel. And so basically, it just took some hot water and a tiny bit of soap, cleaned it, rinsed it, and then let it sit. And I told her with my stainless, you do not fucking scrub. That use the stainless scrubber. You fucking do not let it sit in when it's wet. It's like take care of this fucking stainless stuff.
I'm weird about that kind of stuff. Like I learned a long time ago, like you're gonna, even on a non-stick, something's gonna stick and burn or eventually get stuck to it a little bit. But the trick is, dude, boil water. Just put water in it, just enough to cover whatever the spot is that's stuck, and just turn it on and let it boil for a second, and it'll loosen right up and wipe it right off.
Yeah. See, I had to teach her.
I'm very big about that.
I had to teach her. Look, if you're gonna make eggs, you got to throw something in that pan. It's like a butter, whatever it is you're gonna do. You got to have something in there to make that pan slick, even if it's nonstick. It's like, so once I told her to put like a little pat of butter in there first, even if she just because, dude.
But don't let it brown.
Yeah, no, she would scramble eggs and it's just all burned to the fucking bottom, and she just scrapes off what's left.
The thing I hate to see the worst is when somebody scrambles them in pan with a fork or a wire whisk. And I'm like, well, know how much you're fucking up the bottom of that pan right now.
I bought one of the fucking plastic
coated rubber spatulas.
Oh, you got the rubber spatula. Okay. For both.
Gotcha.
Like, so I use a spatula for the most part, but like if I'm doing like something, I'm doing gravy, I gotta mix up the roux and everything, but I use either. Now I'll use the soft thing, but now that I have the stainless steel, I can use my stainless steel whisk in the stainless steel pan and really get up in there and deglaze that shit. But like before, like she fucking pulled out the metal spatula to go into my fucking nonstick pan, and I fucking grabbed it out of her hand.
Right.
And this was the old stuff, not the new stuff.
Like, you want to die?
And
You want to die, Lana? This is how you get ants.
I got exactly. I got all new utensils, both metal and plastic, and they're separated now. Metal's on one side, plastic's on the other, so you visually don't fuck it up.
I have porcelain and ceramic knives that nobody uses but me.
Oh yeah.
I'm weird about that too. Like I like it.
We talked about knives before.
Yeah, a little
she just
trick.
Throws them in the sink.
A little trick that a lot of people don't know, man. When you're cutting vegetables, get a ceramic knife or a fucking just get a ceramic knife. You don't have to sharpen them first off, and if they dole out, just buy a new one. They're not super expensive, but you will never brown your lettuce. Your veggies won't turn brown and mushy because you're not oxidizing. You're not adding metal to the exposed liquids when you cut into it. So it stays beautiful and crisp when you do it.
Yeah, we talked about that
ice baths.
A long time ago.
Yep, ice baths. You just ice bath everything, and everything will just stay nice and beautiful.
Yep.
But anyways, so I told her, I was like, after the podcast, and then he's gonna want to cook dinner, and it's gonna be sit down family dinner time. I was like, and then after that, we all have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for school and work tomorrow. I was like, I'm gonna have an hour on this thing if I'm lucky.
If you're
like,
lucky.
I was like, it's not even that. Like, I appreciate it, and like she went out of her way for it, and it just kept compounding. Like, it got worse because she got there at 10 o'clock, and they fucking hung a sign saying they weren't opening till noon. So then she drove all the way the fuck back home to have to go back out to go get it again. It's been fucking dumb, dude. That's why I just showed up now, like, because she was there at 10 o'clock when the doors were supposed to open, and they had a handwritten sign. I was like, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, you remember my whole PS5 purchasing journey.
So, I mean, even still, now that they're even available to find, now you just got to find a goddamn store that's open to get them.
You got to hope the
like,
store opened up on a Sunday morning.
Fucking most consoles are 5 to 7 year life cycles, and we're already 4.5 years into this thing, and I'm just now putting my hands on one. Like, this has been the worst rollout of a game.
No, the PS5, ever. No. But thing is, the 4 didn't. The 4 was only 2 years before they introduced the 5.
No,
that's what it seemed like.
Never. It's 5 to 7 year console lives. Like, that's average. I'll wait, but you're wrong.
No, you can go
it might have been 4 years from the PlayStation 4 Pro, but the very first PlayStation 4 was a while ago.
I guess it's probably true. The Pro. Okay, so the original PlayStation 4 dropped in 2013.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah. But then
so like I said, it's usually 5 to 7 years is the life.
But the PS5 came out at the end of 2020, right?
Nope. Keep going.
When did PS5 come out?
2018, 2019.
No way.
Yep. That's when it first dropped because nobody could get them. You could only find them online at the PlayStation Store, and it took months to get it shipped to you.
November 2020.
Was it November 2020?
Yeah,
so 3 years into the life cycle. My bad.
Well, that is, of course,
not even
that was
2 years, 2 months.
Yeah, but that was also.
Still... Go ahead.
I mean, COVID did that. So I mean, like,
well, not chips. COVID didn't do that shit. COVID didn't do that shit. They fucked up the rollout. They weren't sending out enough to the stores. They would literally send one and two to a fucking Walmart.
Make them. Yeah,
but yet there was 5,000 of them. There was 5,000 of them on eBay that you could buy for $3,000. How the fuck they have 5,000 of them on eBay, but you only had one at Walmart? No, they fucked that all
because
up.
They all pre-ordered because because you saw all this shit. They ordered.
They were direct ordering from PlayStation.
Yeah,
it was a whole thing. I remember people were sending links, like group chats where you were friends with people. They'd send you a link from Instagram where you had to click on it real fast to get put into the cart and keep. Yeah, you had to keep refreshing, and even when you go to check out, sometimes it would tell you it was out of stock right at the very end. Like, it was fucking bananas.
Yeah, like the hype was so damn big, and the rollout was handled like NECA. It was like a NECA rollout, and then it was like
Mezco back in the day, like where things would sell out in like 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah,
like,
and then compound all the COVID problems with getting chips and anything else fucking made and or even shipped across the fucking ocean. Well, and even if it got here, no one to fucking move it. So
but the problem is when it went digital, you get people and they were their bots. They're not dumb. Their bots were in there. They were bot smashing and buying hundreds of them and then flipping them on eBay, and that just fucks Joe Blow.
Yeah, desperate fucking people paying $3 fucking grand. Like, you can go on right now that Halo anniversary Xbox the Series X whatever is still like $1,000 on eBay or on eBay. This is like, and the actual what is I guess supposed to be the Halo Infinite Xbox that has not technically ever dropped is still pending, but you can't even pre-order the fucking thing. So yeah, it's stupid. But now that the PlayStation are becoming more available, like you said, the hard part is just making sure that you can get it in the fucking store.
But now we're halfway through the life cycle of this system, and the
In
way you
theory,
can tell you can tell it is because in April they're dropping their version of the Pro, like the new upgrade. Like they always do that halfway through the life cycle. Is they got that they'll drop the PS3 Slim came out halfway through the life cycle. The PS4 Pro came out halfway through the life cycle, and whatever the fuck this one's called is coming out in April.
Yeah, I think it's just coming out, quote unquote. Like who knows?
Well, now they're here. I remember when PS4 comes. I mean, they had walls of them bitches. Like you could walk into, you could have built a fucking house with the amount of PS4s that were sitting there ready for you to pick up when they came out. This, nothing. People be in there trying to fight each other over these motherfuckers in Walmart because one would show up or two would show up. How the fuck do you send 2 PlayStations to a fucking Walmart? That's not even a case.
They didn't. They actually sent fucking 12, but 10 of them were already pre-ordered.
Yeah, and then the workers took some out the back. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
All right. So
that's the thing. Go ahead.
Okay. So we do have a limited amount of time here, so we need to go ahead and wrap.
Who's on the time limit?
Rusty is a little bit, but also to keep within a 2.5 hour record time.
Sorry, and just to risk extending this longer, what the fuck's corned beef hash?
You know what corned beef is?
Nope.
You never had corned beef, like the sandwich meat corned beef? It's a brisket that's been corned. That's the best way I can tell you. It's a beef brisket that you corn it it's almost like pickling the meat.
Yeah, it's a brining type situation.
It's a brining situation, and they cut it real slim usually on sandwiches. Well, corned beef hash is just chopped up into little bits and mixed with potatoes. It's like a breakfast hash.
It looks like cat. It looks like cat food.
Awesome.
It does. It looks like a can of dog food when you open it, but it tastes amazing.
Yeah, so that's what I was picturing. Just being an ignorant Canadian for 30 seconds. That's what I was picturing, but I wasn't sure. So I just wanted to ask. Oh, by the way, and have you ever thought about putting your kid on Master Chef Junior?
I would never
do that.
No, I would never make him.
Dude, I hate watching those shows, and I say it every time. I'll watch him with him because he enjoys it. But I'm like, these kids, they're miserable. Like you can see the weight that their parents have put on their shoulders to be perfect at this stuff. And I would never do that to my kid.
Don't sell your kid.
Now, if he came to me and he's just enjoying himself and he can just cook naturally without me having to every day. You got to go cook. You got to cook me 3 5-course meals to show me you know how to. I want a souffle. I want this. If I have to do that shit to him, fuck no. But if he just comes in there, he's like, hey, look what I can do. I want to go try the show. Like, sure, let's try, dude.
Right on.
Yeah, if it's just a tryout, that's one thing. But versus the whole
I'm not that guy. I'm not a big fan of being the living vicariously through my kids. Shit. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Plus, God knows what those contracts even look like for those kids.
Yeah, I mean they're probably trash, but no. If he wants to when he's a little older, that's fine. But with the little kids, I saw one was like a 5-year-old kid, and he broke an egg yolk or something. And dude, let me tell you, this kid was bawling like you'd stabbed his puppy in front of him. Like it was fucking horrible, and I can't stand that as a parent. I cannot. Like in real life, I wanted to find his parents and just knock the fuck out of them because it was them that did that.
Yeah. So, well, it's either that or they're just it's like the kids who go so hard into studying to make sure they get A's and perfects, and then they fuck up one line in a test and they get a 99.9.5 and they just fucking have a meltdown. It's just that they get
Gabriel doesn't have meltdowns. He's not meltdown level, but he does get mad at himself. But he's proactive about fixing it. Like he has gone to his teacher and asked for extra credit homework over spring break so that he could bring his grade back up on his own. I didn't even know his grade had dipped. He knew it had dipped, and he took care of it, and then brought it all to me.
Yeah,
but that's not the same.
But then, of course, add in a TV competition pressure.
Yeah,
fuck
all that.
Level,
you're trying to monkey your kid out on national television. No, I'm not that guy. No, I'm not that guy.
Especially the Disney.
Yeah, no, thank you. But okay, so that was today. Friday on the Rome Hatton Project, the guys surprised me. With we all do birthday gifts for each other for the cast members, and we all pitch in together and get stuff for people, and they the sneaky bastards had slipped into my wife's DMs and had it all set up with her. Like they sent her the box under her name and had her stash it. I guess it was here for like a week and a half or some shit.
Nice.
But the problem is they thought they'd be funny, and I warned EE. I was like, dude, I said, you know me, you know I'm an asshole, and you know I don't have a filter. I was like, I appreciate and I love you guys. I was like, but don't ever put me on the spot live on a recording again, because if I'd opened that box and it was shit, I would have said it on fucking recording. I'm like, what is this fucking stupid shit? Like, and that would have been forever there. So you better make sure either that president's gonna knock it out of the park or don't ever do that again. Because they had her walk in while we were talking. I just saw her on my monitor. I saw her walk up behind me and she had a fucking box in her hand. So,
right. So
but it was cool.
What was it?
It was a box full of legends. I got New Age Braun and Outback 2-pack, the New Age Alita 1, Magic Square Perceptor, Magic Square Huffer, and the New Age Shattered Glass Optimus.
Jesus, how do I get onto the realm again?
You have to pay me lots of money.
That's okay.
They also have to like you. That's the other part.
That's not true. They don't like me.
Who doesn't like a
I'm on there.
Who doesn't like a Canadian? Yeah, that's true. There's Ricky's on there.
Pretty much all of America.
Have you been on the show?
Who doesn't like the Rusty Mechanic? Tell me.
All of America. we love the Rusty Trombone though.
That's well.
You speak for yourself.
Anyway, they surprised me with that. It caught me off guard, man. It was like, you know, I wasn't expecting how it went down, because we've never done the make you open it on the show thing. Like we've done, like I think EE is the only birthday after mine, and then we restart the cycle again. But yeah, it kind of caught me off guard, but it was pretty cool. Other than that, watch a bunch of shit. Vox Machina is still killing it.
Let's talk about that just real quick.
4, 5, and 6 this week.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. So I only saw one, 2, 3.
It's coming out. It's coming out Thursday nights at like 7.
Thursday. Okay. So I looked Wednesday. Okay. So I was pissed that only the first 3 episodes, and I was like, God damn it! I was like, that's a really stupid place to fucking stop.
Every week, it's like, but each one's a mini arc.
Yeah. So like which makes sense given what they're doing. They're transliterating a D&D show to animation, so they have their arcs within the main arc. And like the first episode was fucking nuts.
Yeah, with all the dragons.
And then like episode 2, I think it was, or episode 3, wherever they meet the Slayers or whatever they're called, and I'm just like, oh, okay, now it's getting a little weird. But then it cut off. I think because I didn't watch the first season when it was dropping. I watched it all at once.
Yep.
Very different. And then to drop 3 episodes at a time is also strange.
And that's what they're doing every week for like 4 weeks, because it's 12 episodes.
It's 12 episodes.
It is a weird dropping thing, but
yeah,
it is good though.
Yeah, as long as and I like how they're at least adding in some character development for what's his face? The fucking big strong one. Not Braun, what is his name?
Grog.
Yeah, it's like Grog or whatever.
Yeah.
As like he's getting weird character development by
got a
happenstance. I love how they make him look like Kratos. I was like,
yep.
Wait, they gave him a big
somebody
axe.
Else said that shit too. I was like, no, he looks like fucking what's his face from Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they gave him a beard.
No, I think they're going for Kratos with Ragnarok, or at least with 2018 upgrade. He puts on the big fat ass belt and grows a beard instantly. That's all it did. And then like he's got the big axe and the tattoos and stuff. I was like, they made him look like Kratos. Was that on purpose? But then I love that one scene where I guess like the dude like swings the sword at him and cuts part of the beard
a little
off.
Piece of the hair off.
Yeah, then he freaks out and then it grows right back.
Grows right back.
Like, he's so pissed that his beard got cut.
Yeah.
I mean, the show is still good, but like having to watch it in chunks now, I get why some people do have that issue. Like.
Yep.
Like and like I usually don't experience that, but this is one of those shows where I wanted to watch it all at once or one at a time. The clumps actually makes it weird, but I like that they brought it back.
It's really good, and I think they've already greenlit a season 3 already. Like,
I mean, easy. Why not? I mean, they already have the content; they just have to animate it.
Yeah, you know? It's really good. So I watched that. And if you haven't given it a chance, go watch it. I'm not a big orcs and elves, mythical creatures type guy. Like, I don't dislike it. It's just not my bag. But I really love this show. Like,
it's just how it's written.
The characters, and they're fucking hilarious, and they're sad, and they're very serious, and they're not serious, and it just covers everything, dude. It's a great show.
And they've like eventually they just get out of the Vox Machina era and then continue on with another.
Well, they're already doing another one. Like there was some kind of announcement that they're already starting another whatever one of their famous D&D games from Critical Role is. They're already fired. They've already greenlit it and started it.
So
it's like one that all the fans are freaking out about it because it's like their favorite one after this. And
so like Vox Machina was only like a certain era for them, and then like they go on to another guild, another story, another campaign with different characters.
I just found out this week that this is based on D&D games. I don't know any of that stuff.
I thought we talked about that when it first dropped.
No. I knew that it was I knew it was based on those Critical Role people who played D&D and all that stuff, but I didn't know this was based on like one of their campaigns.
Yeah. I mean,
they've been like going a fleshed out version of their campaign or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what's a fun fact about this? Apparently the guy that came up with the campaign, Matthew Mercer, apparently there's a character that resembles his likeness, appears in every episode as an Easter egg.
No,
that's funny.
I have to look for it, but I know supposedly like they do voice acting in it and stuff.
All the characters are the people who played it.
Yeah. Well, it's not played by the people who played it because
a lot of them are.
Is her name Sprite? The little not Scanlan, but the other
the light elf dwarf, whatever. Yeah.
She's played by the little girl from Growing Pains, Amy Jo Johnson. That's her voice.
No, Amy Jo Johnson was a Pink Ranger.
Not Amy Jo Johnson, then whatever the other lady's name. You know, I'm talking about the little curly-haired girl from Growing Pains that was like Kirk Cameron's little sister towards the end of the show.
I know like, Ashley Johnson.
Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, that's Ashley Johnson. Who also
it might be her.
Which also discussion about The Last of Us voiced Ellie in The Last of Us.
Well, she's doing the voice of Sprite or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's some people in there, but I think all the other people are like the Critical Role people. But it's really good. Also watch The Last of Us and Christine, unlike these fucking heathens, I'm watching them at release time, and I have stayed up when I had to get up at 5 o'clock the next morning. Pike. Yeah. I had to stay up and late and be tired the next day at work. I still fucking did it. The first episode alone, I watched it 3 times the weekend it came out on Sunday night. I watched it once then, and I watched it twice on the Monday right after. Like I love this fucking show.
Okay,
like,
so let's talk about it since we're here.
It is definitely on track to break the fucking video game curse. And I have come to the theory that it's because it's episodic. I think video games don't work as movies.
I've been
because
saying that
video
forever.
games, we put a lot of hours into 8, 10, 20, 100 hours into a video game, and they're trying to cram that into an hour and a half long movie. It doesn't fucking work out.
No.
But this, they're able to slow roll it.
Or it's a story that makes no sense. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. There's not a real story to those early games.
Nope.
Trying to make an actual
collect coins to save rabbits. That's all you were trying to do, is save the
rings.
Woodland creatures.
Why do people say coins or fucking
rings, whatever. And you were just trying to save the woodland creatures from Dr. Robotnik.
But The Last of Us as a video game really changed how modern video games are played and seen. You are playing out an epic story. You're playing out a movie. And we talked about this before, and I watched the whole thing doing scene comparisons, at least on the first couple episodes, and there's a lot that are shot for shot, and there's a lot that are word for word.
One of the game creators is like the producer, the director of the show. Like
Naughty Dog's
directly
involved.
he's like direct hands in. Like if you watch the show at the very end, he's the guy with the dark hair and the beard. That younger looking guy. He's from the gaming side of it too. Yeah.
So and I'll say this, like episode 1, I was not feeling like, and the thing about it is, and even Rusty, I think, mentioned it in whenever he made his comments, is like, why does the intro just basically the
Game of Thrones?
Would you say Game of Thrones? I thought you said Walking Dead.
No, the Game of Thrones, and it's Game of Thrones opening. He's talking about the literal the show title.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, it's a lot of it is ripped from the game. But it's also
that title opening is he's talking about literally like the building of the map while they showed the people.
No, I understand. But what I'm saying is that's correct, but that's also borrowed. A lot of that is borrowed almost directly from the game.
I don't
Like,
remember that happening in the game. I remember the game you start playing, and then it does like one of those crossfades where
there's an intro sequence in the game that's very similar. It's not shot for shot on that. A lot of it is new, but like I like that intro sequence. It does also add the creep factor when you see like the face that's sort of left over and stuff.
Made
like
out
that.
all the mushroom vines or whatever the fuck.
So
my biggest negative is Ellie.
Yep, same here.
And the only reason why, and it took me a while to realize it, because I've never played the second one. I still have never played it because I heard too many negative things about it. And not just it's this is stupid about it. It's this stuff that they did kind of changes or quote unquote ruins what you learned from the first game. And I didn't want to do that to the characters. So I really loved the characters in the first game. Like they were very, like it's almost personal by the end of the game. And I didn't want to change any of that or ruin any of that. I will go back and play it because I have heard other people say it's good.
Just wait for the updated re-release for the PS5.
Yeah, probably.
Like they did with the first game.
Yeah. And then, but I've had a friend of mine was explaining to me, and I was listening to him talk about it, is what it is the Ellie that you see in the show is the Ellie from Last of Us Part 2. That real stabby, quick, quick, stabby, snarky, bitchy Ellie is Last of Us 2 Ellie.
Yes.
In the first game, she was frightened of everything. That was the whole point of the father-daughter dynamic, is he was saving her and protecting her from the boogeyman, from the dark. Like he was her nightlight.
Yeah.
And what they did in the show is they just kind of blended it. They took her personality of where she's gonna be and just immediately jammed it to where she already starts from.
They've jumped to some of her later character development, especially with the
like the quick stabby, snarky, smartass shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of that, like she does have some of that, but clearly they jumped ahead on that. And that's the other complaint. My biggest complaint about her in particular is actually more related to the actress. She doesn't look enough like Ellie. Like and no, here's the part of it. Like, and I mentioned this in our chat. Like Ellie's supposed to be like 14 or something, if I recall correctly.
This girl looks like 10.
She looks like she's 10. But the other thing is, it's the hair. Ellie has like the swoop down across the forehead hair. She's got the straight pulled back hair, and it's also a high ponytail where Ellie's was low. And there's also the kind thing. Yes, Rusty, we're going to do that. Sorry to interrupt that.
What?
We're getting there. He's sending messages because we need to get to the.
I'm trying to keep it in the background so you can keep your flow.
I know, but
I don't have my phone.
He can't see it, so that's why I was saying we need to get to it. But so this. Either way, so my biggest issue is just visually, she doesn't look enough like Ellie. She's also not cute in the same way. She's more childlike, but then also in her looking 10 to be like, can I get a gun? You know, I want to stab this dude. All this kind of stuff is weird.
You know what? It took me a while, like probably my second or third watch through before it clicked. Like her face, even in Game of Thrones, I was like, well, she reminds me of somebody. I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna want to argue with me. But I want you to go to. Yeah, you do, because you're an asshole and you just like to be wrong. But she looks like Haley Joel Osment. Go back and watch the I See Dead People scene and pause it, and then just use your hands to block out everything except for his face, and that's her face.
In a way, I could see
block out the blonde hair around his head and stuff, and just look at his face.
Yeah,
like she has that. Well, he has that very plain, almost like mannequin type facial features, and she does too.
She does. She's and also kind of androgynous, and also we're now actually mislabeling her because she has said that she is non-binary now.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. We've had that conversation. As long as she's not an asshole, and she's not an asshole about me saying it. I'm not. I'm not purposely calling her she to be disrespectful. I'm calling her she because she looks like a female to me.
And also, to be fair to Pedro Pascal, I don't think he looks enough like Joel.
Well, to be really fair, it's freaking me out that he sounds like the guy from Mandalorian.
I know. That's my biggest issue. Is he sounds like Din Djarin. It's freaking weird.
He sounds like the Mandalorian, and he looks like the guy from Game of Thrones, the snake.
He doesn't look enough like him because that guy shaved a bit more. But like, and I will say this, and I said this in our chat, as like Pedro Pascal needs to play a new version of Bandit and Smokey and the Bandit. He needs to take over for Burt Reynolds because he kind of has. He does look a bit like Burt Reynolds from the fucking 80s.
Look here. You stop saying this shit. Hollywood already has a bad problem of ruining old stuff by remaking it. Stop.
They already remade Smokey and the Bandit as a series in the 90s, and it was not great.
It was trash.
Except that the dude drove a Dodge Stealth, which I'm on board for.
No.
But it wasn't good. I just like the car. But like, I think if they wanted to do a remake of Smokey and the Bandit, even play it in the fucking 70s for all I care. Like, because we still have all the cars, throw him in the fucking 6.6 TA and fucking let him go. As like, put him in the fucking cowboy hat, everything. I will fucking definitely accept Pedro Pascal as fucking Smokey or Bandit.
Okay, so now we're done with
Smokey.
that silly nonsense.
But either way, no, The Last of Us.
But the show is great. It's great.
I say so far it's good. I'm not going to give it a great
clickers.
yet.
No, I'm giving it great. They can go down from here. It's great as of right now. Like it's if they stopped right here, it would suck because the story's not finished. But these 2 episodes are great.
But the visuals are fantastic.
Dude, and I love the what they call it, the woodland Wi-Fi. Like I love that concept.
Oh yeah.
Like
so that's something that's not in the game.
In the game, nope. They added it for the show because it makes more sense.
And the background of where it came from in the first place also new. Yeah. That was not in the game. Never even explored in the second game.
They've changed stuff up to make it make sense because the guy tried to explain. He's like, in a game, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It's a fucking video game, but we're trying to represent this as a real world thing, so we had to treat it as a real world.
And they changed when it happens.
Yeah,
it's actually taking place 10 years earlier.
Yep.
So it starts in like 2003, and in the game is 2013. So they actually moved it forward to kind of make it to where
to age gap it better.
Well, that also now it's taking place in 2023.
Yeah, modern times.
Yeah, and
but
that intro, that actual intro sequence back in 1969 or whatever, where they talked about how the world.
Oh yeah, the doctors on the
shit. Yeah. I actually thought that was great, and he made all those really salient points, and I'm like, that's the AI conversation. Like,
but you would totally get that same pushback. That, I mean, you sound like a complete psycho talking about mushrooms taking over people's bodies. Like that's really how people would react to that.
But like when I first learned about these cordyceps, like in general, like outside of this concept, when they were talking about zombie ants and zombie deer, and I'm like, and then you find out that shit's real. And you're like,
yeah, that's really happened in real life.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like nature is going to win. It doesn't matter what you want to do. Nature will win.
If it's going to win, it's when it's going to win. That's at the end of the day, it could be 5 years from now, it could be 5,000 years from now, but at the end of it all, we're losing.
And then I think I mentioned it before, right? That I remember reading or listening to some commenter, scientist or somebody, right, that where they said this planet has been here for billions of years. We have been here for less than 10,000 years or whatever,
like a second on the atomic clock.
This planet is going to be here
tens of thousands.
Sure, but this planet is going to be here long after we're gone. Right.
Well, until the sun expands, but yes.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, once that happens, that's not even tinfoil. That's just science. They know our star will in a few 100 million years, our sun will expand and
long
the planet
after
will go away.
It doesn't affect.
We won't be here. Yeah.
Good.
It'll be somebody else's problem
until the Borg take over.
I actually felt that scene, that opening scene, was perfect because it actually set the tone for the show. Right. Like it actually sets up the creep factor right away, because at the end of that whole, and like you said, Ricky, at the end of the whole thing, right, part of your brain is going, this guy sounds like a complete whack job, and the other part of your brain is going, fuck,
this has actually happened in real life. Right?
So imagine if that conversation had actually happened then. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he sounded like a complete whack job. I think if they come out on the news and said some shit like that, they would have had that other doctor over there going, get the fuck out of here.
And that was just some talk show too, by the way. Some fictionary talk show.
Yeah. And I love how they're starting each episode with a flashback, like to how it all started, because they had like the Indian lady in the second one.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I don't need that every episode. However, it is nice.
I'm okay with it until it catches up.
To me, it's
you're going to need flashbacks to show the building of the cities and everybody banding together. You're going to need those flashbacks along the way. So as long as they don't get, I don't want a whole episode of flashback.
I don't think we necessarily need it, but I guess for the main characters, sure. Like because the guy coming up next episode, with Nick Offerman, we need his backstory and how.
Oh man, I love.
Well,
Nick
this is it,
Offerman.
right? And
Awesome.
there's lots of shows out there that have started every episode with a flashback, or the following episode has been started off with a flashback of a character that they just introduced, right, or something they needed to use.
Yeah.
There's lots of shows out there that do that, so I don't mind having a flashback at the beginning of every episode. Again, as long as it fits into the story, or it's explained later in the episode, or it has some purpose to the episode, right?
But it creates almost a secondary show, because if you like once this season's all done, if you go back and just watch those flashback things, it would be like a whole show in and of itself, explaining to how you got to then go back and watch the show itself. Yeah, they're built. It's an inbuilt. It's a built-in prequel in the show.
Exactly. Yeah,
I think that's a pretty cool concept.
But the other thing that playing devil's advocate on that is like part of it is also that you never know all of what you've missed, because we know Joel has done some horrendous shit to get to where he is now. Just to get by and become a smuggler and all this kind of stuff. And we also don't need to see like Fedra being set up and all that kind of nonsense and how this kind of stuff. But like, well, I don't think we need all of it, like, because now it's just established thing. Like, this is this. Now, for characters, sure. But we've already got our big setup for everything. We now know Flour Mill and Jakarta basically brought down the whole world. But I watched a thing earlier about also here in Texas, there's like 4 major flour mills, which is how it may have started so quickly here. Like, especially in Austin, where they came from, there's a major flour mill. And of course, the characters that ate no flour-based products were not infected at the beginning of the show. For anybody who missed that, they ate nothing. And they came up with excuses. Well, we ran out of stuff. We need to go to the store. That's why we can't have birthday pancakes.
The gluten-free people are going to survive?
Yes, unfortunately.
God damn it.
Vegetarians, too. And vegans. All those people.
And by the way, that was another scene that, like, that flashback scene was really good, too, right? That woman, the Indian woman, right, that they brought in to, do the analysis, right? She's like, why has this been prepped for, human remains or whatever, right? And this and that. And then at the end of the conversation with the general, right? The general's like, well, what do we do? And she's like, bomb the city.
Let me go see my, bomb everything about
it. Everything.
She was like, bomb everything. And I just looked at my wife and I was like, fuck. Like, I literally, I was like, shivers down your spine. Like, this woman just said to bomb an entire fucking city.
Yeah, the one that her and her family are
living exactly. Yeah, because she was like,
she's like, is there somewhere we could take you? Just take me to my family.
Dude, the moment when she said, "Is there anyone else missing?" and he replied 14, and her hand just started shaking, and she set the tea down.
Yeah,
like she already knew.
Yeah,
she knew exactly what was wrong.
It's
like even if it was only this one woman, we already know that she was bit by someone. So that's the thing. We don't even know who bit the one who died in the first place. And this happened to. Also, considering that these things take over your entire body, literally replace your internal matter with their own mycelia. Why does a headshot even work? That's the only problem I have with it. Like, blowing them up, cool. There's nothing left to move.
Well, you still need, but they
need the brain stem.
Right? They need the brain to control the body, right? So,
yes, that would make sense, except for it was explained that it replaces all matter within for functioning. So when she cut open the bite on the leg,
like the muscles and stuff.
It replaces all the muscles and stuff.
They explained in the first,
because the doctor explained it was a hallucinogenic thing that it injects into your brain.
No, and that's how it gets started. Yes,
right. But he was also saying that the fungus would take over the functions of the brain. So it's obviously not replacing the brain; it's still using the brain.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it's patching into the that was the important part of when. But when she cut open the leg and opened it up, there was no muscle. It was all mycelia.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So in theory, even at that point, it's replacing everything internally. So the thing is, like, why does the brain matter? Because it can communicate through its own tendrils. It doesn't even need anything else. It doesn't need blood. It doesn't need anything. All it wants to do is, like a virus, just reproduce and spread. That's why.
Just enjoy the show. Just enjoy the show. Okay?
No, I'm just saying, like,
tear it apart.
As long as they don't fuck up their own internal logic, I got nothing to fuck with, right? So, and then of course the explanation in episode 2. How the longer someone's infected, if they stay around, they're going to be more and more evolved, and that's where we get the clickers in this episode, in episode 2, which is.
And then they show what happens to the clickers when it goes too far. They just become a big mush of mushrooms stuck to a wall.
Well, that's if someone dies and it just keeps going. Like, but
is it, or does the fungus just?
No, that's what happens when if the body dies in place, they just grow out and become mushroom, and then just whatever. But if the body continues to go, like, so if say that person killed themselves or whatever, died from the infection, because not everybody survived. It even said that some last like a month, some keep going for 20 fucking years. Yeah. So if they just die in spot, the mushrooms don't just go away. No. They just convert the matter they have, and then it's spread out. So that's why that person they saw on the wall looked the way they did, and the mushrooms are growing out from what was left of them, and then it's spread out in whatever direction. So the thing they eliminated from this from the game was that dead bodies would just spread spores, especially indoors.
Like they'd pop and blow into the air.
They would pop and do that and that kind of stuff. So you had to be careful. So they wore gas masks. But because it's a TV show and they can't be hiding actors' faces for long periods of time, they eliminated that as a possibility, which, that takes away some of the creep factor, but it gives them, that's how they gave the spreading by the bite thing or kissing for what happened to Tess, unfortunately.
That was weird.
That's part of it now. So that is actually a new thing. So now it's not just the bite like a zombie, the virus gets in. These tendrils now go into you when they bite you. And that's how it's infecting you, by literally depositing these mycelia into your body, and then they just grow exponentially due to your body warmth.
Did anybody else get creeped out by the fact that the little girl that showed up at the fort, whatever the hell, Boston, the gate, whatever, and then she tested positive, and
by the way,
they were hucking her into a pit of fire?
Yeah, so they burned the bodies.
Yeah, but it was the sneakers, right? It was like, you picture.
Yeah, I didn't get that because they didn't pop. They didn't pop positive. If you go back and watch, because I thought that too. But if you watch
red,
she did.
Red is bad
on the scanner.
Yeah, green is pass. Red is bad.
I thought she turned green. Like, we're gonna get you all your favorite food.
No, what they said is we're gonna give you this little injection to help you feel better. It was execution.
It was to kill her.
It was to kill her. So now here's the thing. I thought that was a boy with long hair. I didn't catch that was a girl.
I did the same thing. I didn't know. I was doing the same thing. I was thinking, is it a girl?
To be 100% honest, I thought that was a little boy that just had never had a haircut. But then I've heard everyone say she after the fact, and I'm like, wait, what? Did I miss something? Or are we just playing? Because I don't even think they ever say.
There was nothing. No, there was nothing. No, there was nothing about that.
Yeah, they didn't even mention
character scene. I don't know that they said if it was a her or.
I don't think they did. They literally didn't. They just said you. They're just talking to the kid.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think the kid talks or even says her name.
No, so she barely nods, right? She's like, "Would you like?" And she barely nods.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, but and to think that any children have been born in the last 20 years, considering what's happened, is the insane part. Because, like, I mean, obviously people would want to reproduce, and you can't ignore a lot of the urges, but like trying to raise a kid even in seclusion at this point is crazy. Like if you're in a city, like what happened with Boston with the federal schools and stuff like that, sure. But like out in the middle of nowhere, God knows where this kid even came from.
The Quiet Place or whatever they called that movie.
Yeah.
Like they're having a newborn where they hear noises.
Oh God. And she's having the kid in the tub, and she's trying not to scream while she's pushing this baby out through her vagina. And I'm going, that scene, that whole time I was sitting on the edge of my chair, squeezing the arms, right? Going, oh my God.
I still haven't seen the sequel yet.
Yeah.
No, neither have I.
I've heard of
it. I haven't seen either one of them.
Oh, it's great. The first Quiet Place, great movie.
Once I heard that they killed Jim, I was out.
Yeah. My concern with the show is I'm hoping that Ellie does not turn into Princess Leia in Obi-Wan, and she just starts saving their ass every episode.
Well, that's gonna happen eventually.
At some point
in the game, Ellie saves Joel's life a couple times.
Considering they said it's gonna be really close, they've come out and said this is gonna be one of the closest adaptations ever.
So that's fine. That's fine. Like I don't mind if she saves his life every now and again, right? As long as Joel doesn't come off as an inept fucking moron like Obi-Wan.
What is with you Canadians and hating female heroes?
Female heroes are fine.
Except that Ellie's not a hero.
I love She-Hulk. I'm sorry, what?
So
it's my birthday, you piece of shit.
She-Hulk was a great movie.
But I did find Ellie was also annoying.
Not only was it not a great movie, it wasn't even a good TV show.
movie. Anyway,
Shoki said it was a great movie.
I said
kind
movie.
Of a smartass.
Yes,
so I found Ellie annoying as well in the bitchiness thing, but I kind of got over it and used to it, I guess. Or maybe she slacked it off a bit as she realized that okay, these people are trying to.
Did you see how psychotic she looked when Joel was choking that dude out though?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, she was getting off on it. Yeah.
And
that's the problem. She should have been scared out of her mind. And you know, I'm not big on replacing actors between seasons.
I don't change her.
I would honestly, I honestly would not be upset if they swapped her out for somebody who looks more Ellie-like.
No, I'm not worried about
that's just me.
The whole gotta look like the characters thing. Like,
but the difference is when you're coming from a medium where you have a visual representation of the character. Like that's the hardest part to
exist in real life.
But you can get people who look that close.
You could
like Nolan North. Like Nolan North doesn't really look like Joel that much. He's not old enough because Joel's supposed to be like 50. So you got to get somebody who looks that part. But also Pedro Pascal can't grow a beard that looks like Joel's beard. I get that. But also his hair doesn't swoop the same way. You know, there's a whole lot of things. But like
we're gonna play. Hold on. We're gonna play this or that. You know, to choose one or the other. Do you want a set of actors that will give you a really good story, or B, a set of actors that look like the characters you love and the show sucks ass?
Yes.
I want C, where you actually can take the time.
Or that.
Yeah.
You
C equals we
can
actually do both. We can get someone who, or we take the actors that we got and at least put the effort in to at least make sure the hairstyle is correct.
Just make it animated then.
If they're going
to make it an animated series,
if they're going to make sure, if they're going to make sure that they shot it on the same street corner of Boston that they did in the fucking game, they can make sure that her hair swoops the right fucking direction and her ponytail is in the right spot. Why would they not?
They didn't shoot it. They animated it.
Yeah, but they animated it based on a real place, and then they fucking made sure that Joel. You can actually look at the shot-for-shot remakes in certain spots. They make sure that So the funny part is Ellie, the shirt she's wearing when they meet her, is actually a Nathan Drake fucking reference, if I remember correctly. Like the shirt she's wearing is a reference to that in reference to other games and characters. Like it's not Ellie's same shirt, but they made sure that the detail was so specific that people go, boom, we know exactly where that's from.
It was a Naughty Dog reference.
It's a Naughty Dog reference. It's a game reference, and not their game reference, but a different game reference.
So,
they couldn't make her hairstyle the same.
Again,
or they couldn't get someone with freckles. Like Ellie has freckles.
You want an animated series of a game that has animations in it. That's what you want.
No, I want them to put the same effort into making their characters look like the characters if they're going to make everything else the same.
They could be worse. That's not my argument. She just looks weird to me.
She's an odd looking person.
My only negative is the jump in her character traits. That's my
and I agree with that. I agree with that part. But to me, how hard is it just to restyle her hair to look more like the Ellie character?
Could be worse. You could have a black female Scooby-Doo.
Well, we got his daughter was black in this and not white in the game, so they already did one thing that was different.
And that girl who played his daughter, oh my god, she was awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about the acting. I'm not even going to complain about that. But like, they've made changes, right? But it's just like those. Not only say stylistic because she's wearing the same shirt that she wore in the game. This is my argument. They go to such finite detail with so many other things, but then they just don't give a shit when it comes to other parts. I was like, if you're going to make sure that she's wearing the same shirt that she's wearing in the game, at least close enough to be completely recognizable, at least just make the main character's hairstyle look the same, even if the girl doesn't look the same. It was like, if they did it with Joel with no
everybody
beard.
Everybody listening to this, just keep in mind, grain of salt. Shoki loves She-Hulk, so just keep that in mind while he's bashing the show for something stupid like a hairstyle.
There's nothing wrong with She-Hulk.
There's nothing wrong with She-Hulk. It was a show.
I'm on record.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this can of trash I have behind my house. Trash has to exist for something. So
So either way, let's move on because we're running short on time and we have some more stuff.
You
to get through
motherfuckers are in there doing countdowns in the goddamn group messenger, and y'all are.
Well, Rusty also didn't realize how off his math was.
Yeah,
so that's because he forgot to convert from metric to standard. That's
he did.
The time zone change is what's throwing me off. Go ahead.
Well, that's why I always give the times in y'all's time, not mine.
Yeah, so ours is real. Mine is real time. You just happen to live in it.
Can I just say, by the way, as a Canadian, how much every time that somebody says y'all, I want to murder one of you. Anyway, moving on.
Y'all's a word, and I say it constantly. I text
y'all. You all takes too long.
It's more of a word than sorry, which is not a word.
Yeah,
sorry is not a word. So
sorry is not a word.
Which dictionary do you want me to open up and look up sorry and y'all?
No. Sorry is a word. Sorry is not a word.
So is a boot also not a word?
Yeah, it's something that I wear on my feet.
Just one? That sounds like
a boot.
That sounds like
it's my ass kicking boot. It's
he
one specific boot.
He wears his a boot on his a foot.
Yeah, there you go.
But a foot is a word.
To cover my toes.
So yes, let's move on real briefly because right before we went live, I realized something when I saw a post that yesterday was the anniversary of the Challenger explosion. So
more importantly, Friday was Holocaust Remembrance Day.
That was also a thing. But nobody told us about that. But somebody should have mentioned that part.
37.
Yeah, so much for Jews running the news.
37 years
Kanye
ago?
for getting something else wrong.
1986.
37 years ago? Yes, 37 years ago. So that's a weird anniversary, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, they do it annually.
Yeah, that's why it's anniversary. But either way, yeah.
Hold on, I have to open my dictionary up again. Just a second. I have to look up anniversary.
Well, they're actively changing definitions now, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But no, the fact that
y'all is also in the dictionary. It's
Stop it!
Of you
Stop it!
Wait till I say all y'all.
Yeah, all y'all. All y'all includes so many people. It's ridiculous.
And Ewans guys are getting on my nerves.
So Ewans is y'all plus 3.
Ewans guys.
Use guys is from the Northeast. So
no, use guys is from fucking
the Northeast.
It's from the Northeast. It's a Northeastern thing.
It's from Goonies.
Guess where I'm from.
So either way, guys, we're going to wrap up there because we've gone way over our initial time.
And we were going to do this in 2.5 hours, and here we are 3.5 hours later.
Yep. We fucked that one up.
What?
Yep, we're at 3.5.
I did it 1:30, 5 o'clock, doing math. Yep, okay, good.
I mean, I'm literally looking at the recorded amount of time, so I can tell you exactly how long we've been doing
The fact that you had to take your toes off, your shoes off to count your toes to get to that time is fucking weird.
Well, he doesn't have to do that. No, he's got all the dogs. He can count on their toes.
No, he had to take off his boot and count his toes.
Toes.
Toes. Either way. So, guys, thanks for listening. Sorry.
If you made it this far, I apologize for nothing.
I don't care if you listen to this in like 40-minute stints at work. I'm glad you listened. Yeah, because a lot of people can't listen all the way through. I do. Yeah. So either way, but guys, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Help feed that algorithm. If you do see that it is premiering, by all means, join us in the chat. Usually me, Ricky, and Dormammu will be there, and Rusty's been popping in too.
It depends on what day and time.
It depends on the day and the time. I'm trying to figure out the best time to release that, but because our metadata is so small right now, I can't predict exactly that. Yes. So either way. Fuck, sorry. My throat is fucking seizing up.
He has to get his radio voice back.
I don't have my radio. It's fading really fucking fast.
Either way. Take the dick out of your mouth. There you go.
I don't have anything banana shaped here to put in my
wrap
mouth.
This shit up. That PlayStation 5 ain't gonna set itself up, man.
I'm purposely delaying your PlayStation 5.
I will hang up on you. You ain't gonna get a cable.
I have to pee.
You could have peed at any time. So either way, guys, go subscribe to all the things except for Mike. Don't subscribe to Mike unless you want to hear him. I'm just kidding. Go subscribe to Mike. We're just mad because he's not here. So either way. I do want Mike to go watch Velma and complain about it though, because I'm not going to watch it. I want to hear him.
But if Mike watches it, I then have to watch it to try to be the devil's advocate.
I think this is a no devil's advocate allowed situation.
Nah, I don't want to watch.
I mean, it's the third worst rated thing ever on TV. So
I still need to know those first two are just to see what their comparisons are.
So we can do a
Google that shit real quick while you're talking. Google.
No, so I'm trying, but I can't.
We're wrapping up.
We're wrapping it
you
up,
shut
damn
the
it.
fuck up, Rusty. Piss your pants.
Wrap
Keep all over your
it
new
up.
Optimus pants.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it
Yes.
up, B.
Nope, that's not it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'll do it in the chat after the fact. Either way, guys, we'll see y'all later because we all got to go. I got pizza waiting on me. So,
Okay, bye.
okay, bye.
Say fresh cheese bags.
That's not our outro. It's your outro.
Okay, bye.
I'm
There
not
we
bringing
go.
him back anymore. He don't know how
Nah,
to
fuck it. He's
follow
canceled.
the goddamn rules.
Canceling fucking. Yeah.
Please
Follow
don't delete my links.
Follow the rules like Ricky does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Right.
I mean, only if you got the balls to be Ricky. I mean, don't be that.
No one wants
Rusty's too nice.
Love you.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.